to worry about.
Dan Shalom with you alongside Casey DeSalle here at Shuttleworth Park for Stallions versus Mohawks. Saugerties currently sits 2 games out of the PGCBL East with 10 games to go. Casey, there's nothing better than meaningful baseball, but the Stallions have to get a win here tonight in a ballpark they haven't been able to this season.
You mentioned meaningful baseball. This is probably the biggest game of the year for the Saugerties Stallions. 2 games behind the Amsterdam Mohawks right now, and coming to a ballpark they have yet to win at all season long. One of the hardest ballparks to win at in the PGCBL, Shuttleworth Park. The Stallions have to get done tonight if they want a chance at first place.
They're 0-3 here at Shuttleworth. Last time they visited, got destroyed 18-2. Nothing went well for them in that last game, but it's a different lineup. A couple new guys are in that starting lineup. Andrew Amato, Peyton Bonds, and you got one of your best with Vince Fusco on the mound.
And not to mention the Stallions have been on a roll as of late, Dan. I mentioned on a 6-game win streak.
Yeah, you look at it, it started from that comeback 5-run win against Mohawk Valley, 8-7. Since then, it's been smooth sailing. They've won every game by at least 2 runs, but they're trying to continue it against the best team in the PGCBL tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They have to continue it tonight here if they want a chance at first place, like I mentioned earlier. But it's going to be really tough tonight. Again, the ballpark is packed. They always have it packed here in Amsterdam. Always stuff going on. Crowd's really loud. They're going to have to stay focused, and they're going to have to make great plays and be focused in the box. They want to win this one.
It is packed out here at Shuttleworth Park tonight. Casey, we look at last game that the Stallions played here. Only 2 hits, 2 runs, that coming by way of a 2-run home run by Justin Ford. This time, like we mentioned, things are different. You have Brandon Fish. You got Andrew Amato and Peyton Bonds in the lineup. All guys who are batting above 300 right now.
Yeah, you mentioned Brandon Fish. He came here just last week, I believe. He's only played 4 games for the Stallions, but he's been on fire. Has a 500 average through those 4 games, 5 hits, has 3 runs, and 1 RBI. And Peyton Bonds, although he's only played 1 game, in that first game, he went 2 for 3 with, I believe, I don't know if he had any RBIs, but he was very impactful in that game.
Yeah, he had 2 singles, like you mentioned, came around to score twice along with a walk. He's in the cleanup spot tonight. But why don't we talk about the offense as a whole as of late? They have been truly on fire with the team average sitting at 313.
Yeah, they had 54 hits across the last 6 games. And with those 54 hits, they've been able to plate 46 runs. They've had 4 home runs as a team, 34 RBIs, and they've walked 42 times. So they're doing a lot at the plate in these last 6 games, and they need to continue it here tonight if they want to beat the Mohawks.
We'll see how they fare. Andrew Amato is your leadoff man. 2 times ago when he was leadoff, he went yard. There's also a big chance that the Stallions hit a pretty unique mark with 10 games left to go in this season.
Yeah, they're only 3 wins away from their most wins ever in a regular season. The Stallions definitely have the lineup, and they have the time to do it just a week away from the end of the season almost. Probably like, let's say 7 games left. And they faced the Glens Falls Dragons twice, so maybe 2 wins there. Utica Blue Sox, I believe, are also in there. Probably a good win there. And if they want to get this history mark, I think they can do it.
We're going to take a quick break before running through our lineups. And first pitch here from Shuttleworth. Back here in Shuttleworth Park, Dan Shalom with you, alongside Casey DeSalle. Casey, why don't we take a look now at the lineup that the Stallions put together here tonight. That's going to try and take down the Mohawks here in Shuttleworth Park for the first time.
Yeah, definitely one of the best lineups I've ever seen from the Saugerties Stallions here tonight, Dan.
Yeah, Andrew Amato is your leadoff man. Then it's going to be Mario Trivella. Nate Manley is the extra hitter tonight. He's batting .365. Peyton Bonds, in just his 2nd game as a Stallion, will be in the cleanup spot. Then it's Eddie Yaman, the former Mohawk himself. Justin Ford, the best hitter on the team, sporting a .382, slots in at 6th. Ryan Resio, who's been on a tear lately, a hit in 6 out of his last 7. Then it's Brandon Fish, Matt McIntyre, and Tyler Bach to finish things off. And the arm they'll be going against is Zach Hernandez of the Amsterdam Mohawks. He's supporting a sub-3 ERA. He's been one of their better arms this season, and is going to try and lock down Amato here tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned that sub-3 ERA. It's sitting at 2.51. He's played 10 games for the Mohawks this year, and he started only one of them.
Amato is ready to go. He is first pitch swinging. Strike 1. We're ready for baseball here from Shuttleworth Park. Stallions against Mohawks. Saugerties hasn't won a game here since July 25th of last year. 0-3 this season, but 4-3. The Mohawks are against Saugerties overall this season. The 0-1 misses down low. It's 1-1.
We talked about the ERA of Zach Hernandez, but also in only 14 1/3 innings pitched, he has 20 strikeouts. So definitely a very lively arm on the mound.
Did face the Stallions once before. That was on July 8th in the 7-4 victory at Cantine Field. Pitched 2 innings, a singular run, 2 hits, that run not being earned. Amato cuts and misses. He's down 1-2. So far this season, sporting a .378 and was 1 for 2 against Albany in Saugerties' last game.
Andrew Amato, an early 1-2 count here, but we all know Amato's not going to go down without a fight. Someone that rarely strikes out.
Here's the pitch. Misses down low. Amato's first plate appearance of the season came here at Shuttleworth Park. That was in that 8-7 loss when Ethan Conrad was still on the team. And since then, Amato's put up the numbers that we've expected from him. 3 doubles, a home run, 7 RBIs through just 15 games.
Yeah, with that .378 average, that really stands out in 15 games.
The 2-2. Misses upstairs. Amato's worked himself into a full count.
You mentioned how different the team looks from then to now. I mean, so many guys have came and went. We already mentioned Peyton Bonds and Brandon Fish in the lineup tonight, 2 pretty new faces. And in that game, we also had Fritz Genther and Ethan Conrad that are no longer part of this team.
Along with Byram Hott as well.
Byram Hott.
Here's the payoff. In there for strike 3. Amato gets caught looking for the first out of the ball game.
Yeah, Amato definitely wasn't expecting that pitch right there. He might have been sitting off speed, a fastball that kind of just came on the inside of the plate there and caught him looking.
Mario Trivella will step in now for the Stallions. He homered 2 games ago here at Shuttleworth Park when the Stallions were defeated 6-3. Hernandez set steals. That one misses down low. So far this season, Trivella batting just under .300, went 1 for 3 in the Stallions' last game.
Yeah, Trevella's been a very consistent bat for the Stallions all season long. I mean, he's hovered at or above .300 the entire season, and he also has 20 RBIs and 21 walks on the season. So not only getting hits, just getting runs across and walking aboard.
Yeah, that OPS sitting just under 900. Here's the 1-0. He fouls it off to the right side. Every time we're here, we have to talk about the dimensions of Shuttleworth Park. 280 to left and right, 365 out to center field. It's a totally different ball game than when you're hosting the Mohawks at Cantine Field.
Yeah, the Cantine Field's 330 down the line. Here's 280. And you said take advantage of the dimensions. The Stallions have done that. Every time they've been here, they've hit a home run, at least one, in every game they've played here.
The 1-1 catches the top of the zone. It's 1-2.
Hernandez in another 1-2 count quickly here, Trivella.
Hernandez earned his first win of the season in his last start against Albany. Pitched 4 innings clean in that one, giving up just a singular hit. Trivella calls time. Stallions trailing 2 games coming into this matchup are trying to make that just 1 with 2 matchups left against the Amsterdam Mohawks, 1 at Cantine Field and 1 back here at Shuttleworth late into the last couple weeks of this season. Here's the pitch. The slider curves in for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts looking to start this outing for Zach Hernandez, and there's 2 outs.
Zach Hernandez has done a really good job of pitch sequencing so far in this inning. I mean, catching both Amato and Trevella, two really good hitters looking, is very hard to do.
And we talked about it before the game. When you're playing away at Shuttleworth Park, you have to either attack early or pitching has to be locked down. Last time the Stallions were here, neither of those things were true. And so far, it seems like they're going to have to rely on the pitching of Vince Fusco.
Yeah, last time the Stallions were here, they had 2 outs in that first inning, but they could not get that third out. And they allowed, I think, 9 runs to score in the first 2 innings.
Yeah. 2 straight balls to Nate Manley.
Nate Manley, another dangerous batter at the top of this order, comes into this one batting a .365 and recently hit a home run.
That one catches the outside part of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Manley. You mentioned that home run came just a couple of games ago, and he launched that one to left center field.
Yeah, that one was right out by the stable deck to the left of it on the porch there.
A big swing and a miss by Manley, and the count's knotted at 2s. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Top of the first here from Amsterdam. A packed Shuttleworth Park here on this Thursday night, in which the Mohawks are trying to extend their PGCBL East lead to 3. Manley pokes it to the right side. That ball is tailing foul.
I mean, it just shows the dimensions of this ballpark. Wasn't hit too hard, but if it was fair, it might have been gone.
2-2 count, 2 outs. Top half of the first. Stallions trying to earn their first win here since July 25th of last year. Went 1-5-1 against the Mohawks in 2023. So far this season, 3-4. That pitch misses outside, and it'll be the second full count of this inning to Nate Manley.
I mean, Nate Manley has been a great hitter for the Stallions all year, but he has, I believe, in his last 6 games, 5 of them he hasn't hit in. So someone's been very consistent all season long, and he's just showing it right now when the Stallions need it most.
That one misses upstairs. It's a 2-out walk to Nate Manley, and it'll bring up Peyton Bonds for his first at-bat here in Shuttleworth Park.
I'm sure the fans will be loud in this at-bat. I mean, if anybody knows who Peyton Bonds is in this stadium, they've got to be pretty excited to watch him.
Peyton Bonds, of course, the nephew of Barry Bonds, who leads the MLB in home runs all time. Only has played 1 game for the Stallions, went 2 for 3 against Watertown 6 days ago. First pitch to him misses outside for ball 1.
Let me tell you something, folks at home. This ballpark can definitely not hold Peyton Bonds if he gets a hold of one.
I mean, just look at his frame, 6'5", 220. He's probably the biggest guy on this Stallions team, and that power in the bat is undescribable. Here's the 1-0. 2 straight balls, and it makes sense why Hernandez is pitching away to the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to come inside when you're facing Peyton Bonds. If he gets a pitch that he likes, he can handle, it could be gone.
2-0 count. Hernandez deals. Bonds chases. It's 2-1.
Bonds being a little over-aggressive there in a 2-0 count. Swung at a fastball. It was definitely a little too high, something he really couldn't do anything with.
Hasn't played a game in 6 days, this just being his second of the campaign with Saugerties. Manley's at first. There's 2 outs here in the top of the first. That one misses down low. Dangerous. 3-1 count here to Bonds.
Yeah, 3-1 count to Bonds. Definitely a really good hitter. But if you walk Peyton Bonds, you really have a break. You have Eddie Yaman on deck, who already has 2 home runs this season.
Manley gets his lead. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs. Back-to-back walks from Zach Hernandez, and the former Mohawk Eddie Yaman will now step to the dish with 2 outs in the top of the first.
Someone that's worked very well with runners in scoring position in just 11 games. Eddie Yaman has 14 RBIs this season already.
Yaman spent his 2023 season with the Mohawks, actually played 1 game with them this year before going to the Orleans Firebirds in the Cape Cod Baseball League, then left them after about 20 games and is spending the rest of this season here with Saugerties. And he's got 14 RBIs in 11 games. While the average might seem a little bit low, he's done the job out there for this team.
He's definitely done the job. We mentioned that win streak coming in to this game, sitting at 6 games, and you can attribute that first game to Eddie Yaman with that game-tying grand slam in the bottom of the 8th.
Runners at first and second. First pitch to Yaman misses outside for ball 1. Crucial for the Stallions to play to run here in the first, because you know this Mohawks lineup is going to come out firing in the bottom of the first, especially coming off of a loss for them on Tuesday night.
Yeah, definitely crucial. Although the Stallions are on a 6-game win streak, they've still had a little bit of issues with left on base.
Yaman takes it. It's back-to-back 2-0 counts.
I mentioned all season they've really had trouble with runners left on base. Very many games they sit at 8 or 9 or 10, and that's just not a recipe for success. But thankfully the Stallions just put so many runners on base that they could bring enough around to score and win.
Just need to bring them home. 2-0 count. Manley is at second, Bonds at first. 2 outs in the top half of the first. Hernandez deals. 3-0 count to Eddie Yaman, and the best hitter for average, Justin Ford, awaits on deck if Yaman is to be walked.
It really just shows you the depth of this lineup. Justin Ford hitting in the 6th hole, and he leads the team in average and RBIs, and is tied for the league for the lead in homers on this team.
3-0 count. Misses down low. The bases are going to be loaded for Justin Ford. Last time in this ballpark, launched a 2-run home run.
Yeah, and Justin Ford coming off a great game in that doubleheader against Albany. He went 2 for 3 with a double.
And we've seen Hernandez struggle to locate. He's trying to hammer the outside part of the plate, and the umpire's just not giving it to him so far.
And it's like we're already going to get a mound visit here.
Ford poked a ball over the left field wall last week when the Stallions traveled here to Amsterdam. It was the only 2 runs plated of this game. He also leads the team in RBIs with 27. He's a bat that you can count on in nearly every situation.
And this is exactly why they're probably having that meeting on the mound out there. You have the team leader in average and RBIs. You make a mistake to Justin Ford, it could be a 3-0 ball game. It could be a 4-0 ball game. And the Mohawks certainly don't want that, especially coming after that loss they had to Mohawk Valley on Tuesday.
Bases are loaded. There's 2 outs here in the top half of the first. Zach Hernandez has walked 3 straight batters after striking out the first 2.
He definitely lost his control. He seemed really confident and was throwing a lot of pitches in the zone against Amato and Travella, 2 of the best hitters in this lineup. But when the power guys came around, he seemed to kind of lose it.
And Casey, I see a big hole between left and center field right now. The left fielder, Sebastian Harden, is basically playing at the wall because of how short this ballpark is. If Ford can just flare one into the outfield, it will score a run. Here's the first pitch. Misses outside for ball 1.
And Hernandez can't get behind Ford here really quickly because if he walks forward, it walks in a run. So he has to come in, he has to attack Ford if he wants to be successful in this inning.
The last game for Amsterdam, they also allowed the Diamond Dogs to load the bases in the first inning. Mohawk Valley would score 3. That one misses upstairs. It's 2-0.
Now you're in a very dangerous count if you're Hernandez right now. A 2-0 count to the best hitter on this team right now.
And we already see Gage Haley getting warm for the Mohawks out there in their bullpen. Logan Forsythe, who was the starter for the Mohawks on Tuesday, just went a third of an inning before getting pulled. That one does find the outer part of the zone. It's 2-1.
And even if you just walk Justin Ford or he gets a hit, you still have Ryan Resio on deck, who's been the hottest hitter for the Stallions across his winning streak.
2-1 count, 2 outs, bases full of ponies. Ford fouls that one back, and the count will be knotted at 2s.
You see Ford kind of shaking his head after that one. That's a pitch he really wanted, a fastball middle in, and he just missed it and fouled it back.
2-2 count, 2 outs. Bases are loaded here in the top half of the first. Justin Ford at the plate. 4 grounds this one to the left side. Rispoli fields, throws to second. Hernandez is able to get himself out of the jam here in the top half of the first. Stallions strand 3. We head to the bottom half of the first. No score.
All right, we're good. Go ahead and unmute us.
Bottom half of the first, Stallions stranding 3 in that top half. Let's take a look now at the Mohawks lineup here tonight. Javar Williams will lead things off. He's batting .333. Then it's Evan Hager, another 300-plus hitter. Jackson Natili, he's the extra hitter tonight. He'll be in the 3-hole. Cade Ladahoff doing the DHing. He was pulled from the last game for Amsterdam. Then it'll be Jimmy Dion, the first baseman. He's down there in the 5-hole. Tyler Figueroa batting 6th. Those top 6 all batting 300-plus. Then it's Rob Rispoli, Drake DiGiorno, Sebastian Harden, and Steven Spalita, the catcher, to round things off. They'll be going against Vince Fusco.
Yeah, we mentioned the Mohawks bringing one of their better arms. Well, the Stallions definitely bringing one of their best here tonight. Vince Fusco comes into this one with a 2.07 ERA. He's pitched 17 1/3 innings, has 16 strikeouts, has given up 11 walks and 17 hits in 6 games. And this will be his 4th start of the year.
Stallions are going to need Fusco to go long and to be strong out there on the mound tonight if they want to stay in this game. The pitching crumbled last time here at Shuttleworth.
This will be Vince Fusco's 2nd time starting here at Amsterdam, at Shuttleworth Park.
First pitch to Williams is in there for strike 1. You mentioned that last time. He pitched 3 innings, 2 runs, none of those being earned as both batters reached on errors. So if you ask me, Fusco had a great start last time, and he's off to a great start here tonight. It's 0-2.
He's definitely going to be off to a great start if they want to beat the Mohawks here at home.
The 0-2. Grounded to the right side, foul. Fusco's last appearance, pitched 3 2/3 against Mohawk Valley. No runs given up, 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts on 16 batters faced. 0-2 count to the Demon Deacon Williams. Just misses on the inside. It's 1-2.
It's a very good pitch there from Vince Fusco in the 0-2 count, especially, a fastball on the inside that if Javar swings, he's going to get jammed on and probably roll a ground ball.
That was the first fastball that we saw from him as well. Goes back to the off-speed. This one is flared into center field. It's a leadoff base hit for Javar Williams.
And that's just annoying if you're Vince Fusco on the mound. You make a good pitch there, and Javar Williams just kind of protects the plate there and just hits a bloop single into center field.
Evan Hager will be the next to step in for the Mohawks. Batting just above .350. And I just want to say one thing about Williams. That extends his hit streak now all the way back. His last hit, the last game where he didn't have a hit, was in the 6-3 win against Saugerties here at home. That came on June 26th. That extends his hit streak to 14.
That's a very high hit streak. I I haven't seen the Stallion reach that high this year. The most we've seen probably was Ryan Resio as of late. I think he went 6 games, maybe 7. But 14 is very impressive. And that shows you why he's a Wake Forest commit.
1-1 count. Williams is at first. He's also a speed threat. 11 stolen bases this season. The pitch. Hit out into right field. Ford is going back. He's on the track. It's off the top of the wall. Ford will fire in. Going to third is Williams. It's a double for Evan Hager, and the Mohawks are set up with runners at second and third, nobody out.
Thankfully for Vince Fusco, Jamar Williams wasn't sure if Ford was going to come down with that ball, so he had to wait in between second and first base, allowing Ford to get it in time so Williams couldn't come around to score. But Fusco's going to have to really lock in now if he wants to strand these 2 runners.
And now that's what we talk about at Cantine Field. That's a fly out to right field. Here at Shuttleworth Park, that ball is nearly a 2-run home run. Jackson Natilli will be the next batter up here for the Mohawks. First pitch to him misses inside. There's runners at second and third, nobody out. Natilli has been one of the best bats in this Mohawk lineup. He's played 26 out of 34 games, sporting just above a 360 average in that time. Fusco having some trouble locating. It's 2-0.
Yeah, right now, Fusco has that disadvantage. I mean, he's a lefty pitcher against a righty batter, so it's going to be tough for him to locate a fastball and a curveball in there for a good strike until he's swinging at it.
Until he swings at that one, hits it to right field. Ford is under it. Williams will tag. Here's the throw in. It'll be cut off by McIntyre. It's 1-0 Mohawks.
Yeah, and that ball just hit way too deep for Justin Ford to even have a chance. Jamar Williams has so much speed over there on third base. It's almost a guaranteed run every time.
But in that scenario, Fusco more than willing to trade the run for the out.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to get that first out in this inning with 2 runners on base. Now he has to attack Cade Ladahov, one of the most dangerous hitters in this league.
He's the supposed PGCBL MVP as of right now, batting a .412 and has just missed 1 game for Amsterdam so far this season. Yaman blocks that one. 1-0. We talk about Ladahov. You got to run through the stat line. .412 average, 13 doubles, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs. This guy is putting up Amato numbers from 2023.
Not quite amount of numbers, but I see what you're talking about. I mean, he's been really phenomenal for this Amsterdam Mohawk team. Leads the league in home runs.
Hits this one into center field. Should be deep enough to score Hager. Ford is under it once again. He will throw it in. Not in time. 2-0 Mohawks off of back-to-back sac flies by Jackson Natilli and Cade Ladahov.
And right now the difference in this game is the runners that the Stallions left on base in that top half of the first inning. The Mohawks get 2 runners on base, and they just do the bare minimum, hit 2 fly balls and score 2 runs.
We mentioned it in the pregame. If you're playing the Mohawks here at home, you have to either jump out early or the pitching has to be sound. Luckily this time, it seems like the hole is still recoverable for the Stallions. Only down 2-0. They have 2 outs on the board. Jimmy Dion at the dish.
Remember last time the Stallions had 2 outs here at Shuttleworth Park. They struggled to get that third out, and they allowed so many runs to score because of that.
9 out of the first 11 in that 18-2 loss here at Shuttleworth came with 2 outs in the inning, and those 11 runs were scored between the first and fourth innings of play. Fusco finds the zone. It's 0-2.
It looks like Fusco's kind of shook off those first 2 batters right now, getting to a groove of 1-2 already here.
Strike 3 gets him swinging. Yaman throws down to first. It's in time. McIntyre makes a nice play. Fusco is able to get out of the inning. Mohawks score 2 here in the bottom half of the first as we head to the second.
You ready to go?
Top half of the second, Mohawks plate 2 in that bottom half of the first. It could have been a lot worse, though. Vince Fusco did a nice job limiting the damage.
Yeah, Vince Fusco allowed those first 2 runners on, a single and a double from Jawar Williams and then Evan Hager. And then he gave up 2 sac flies to Jackson Natili and Cade Ladohoff, but that clears the bases, only giving up 2 runs in this inning, and he was able to strike out Jimmy Dion. So definitely got stronger as the inning progressed.
And I think what he'll go back to is that first hit that Jawar Williams got. It was soft contact to center field, was just unlucky with the bounce.
Yeah, definitely unlucky with that one. Vinny Fusco was doing a really good job in that first at bat. It's just he was unlucky, as you mentioned. Jawar Williams just put a bat on it and it flared out to center field for a lazy single.
Ryan Rescio will start off this top half of the second for the Stallions. He gets hit on the inside of his thigh, seems to be in some pain.
Definitely something you don't want to see. Thankfully, he's okay for one of your hottest hitters right now on the Saugerties Stallions.
Rescio will advance to first. He's reached base safely in his last 7 games now. Brandon Fish will be the next up for Saugerties. Just the guy that you want up in this scenario, batting .500. He's got himself a bunch of singles, and he's only played in 4 games so far this season.
Yeah, Brandon Fish got here just a week ago, as we mentioned in the pregame show, and he's been on fire ever since he got here.
Yeah, 5 hits so far, an RBI, 4 walks. Has him sporting an average of .500, and he doesn't try and do too much at the plate, just looking to flare the ball into the outfield for singles.
Yeah, he had a hit in his first 3 games, just in the second game of the doubleheader against Albany, when able to scratch one across.
That one misses upstairs. Hernandez is struggling with control. Those issues carrying over from the first. We know that one of the Mohawks' best arms, Gage Haley, is warming in the pen. He comes out of Mississippi State, sporting a 4.28 ERA this season. Rescio gets his lead off of first. That one misses down low. It's 3-0 to Fish.
And you mentioned one of their best arms warming up already in their pen. And that's because tonight the Mohawks definitely don't want to mess around. They don't want to lose 2 in a row, especially with the Stallions trailing only by 2 games right now in the PGCBL East.
And we just saw Keith Griffin motion to Haley in the bullpen. Hey, speed it up. You're coming into this game soon. 3-0 is straight down the middle. It's 3-1.
Yeah, and definitely motioning because Hernandez has had his control issues so far in this one. He already has 3 walks and a hit by pitch and is in a dangerous 3-1 count right now to a good hitter in Brandon Fish.
Hernandez deals. Fish cuts and misses. It's a full count.
Hernandez went with an inside pitch there that Brandon Fish just swung and missed at. Definitely a pitch Fish likes and he can take down the line. Just wasn't ready for that pitch.
The payoff. Hernandez gets Fish swinging for out number 1 here in the top of the second.
Definitely something you don't see from Brandon Fish very often right there. And a good hitter's count and just couldn't do anything with it. 2 whiffs in a row on fastballs on the outside of the plate.
Matt McIntyre will step in now. 1 out. Rescio's over at first after getting plunked with the first pitch that he saw to start off this inning. First pitch to him catches the top of the zone for strike 1. McIntyre has been getting himself back on track lately. In his last game, that was the first game of the Albany doubleheader, went 1 for 3 with an RBI single. That one misses down low at the knees. It's 1-1.
Definitely is getting himself back on track. In his last 4 games, he has hits in 3 of them. The
1-1. McIntyre fouls that one back. And we see that same frustration that Justin Ford had when he got the fastball down the middle.
Yeah, right now the Stallions are missing their pitches. They've been putting themselves in good hitters' counts, but you saw Braden Fish whiff at 2 fastballs. You saw Justin Ford miss his inside fastball. And right there, McIntyre misses a fastball he would have liked to hit.
Rescue at first. The 1-2. Misses upstairs. It's 2-2.
It's definitely going to be a short night for Hernandez out there. We knew the Mohawks did not want to mess around coming this one. He's been pretty wild so far in this one.
Haley is ready to go out there in the bullpen when Keith Griffin decides it's time. The 2-2. McIntyre smacks it to the third base side. It will get through. Rescio is chugging over to third. He will be held up there. He's going to be sent home. Rescio will score. Stallions cut the lead to 1.
And the reason Rescio was able to score on that hit is because Harden out there in left field had trouble fielding the ball in the left field corner.
So it'll go down as a double for Matt McIntyre. It'll be scored, though, as an E7 on Sebastian Harden, so the run will be unearned and not count as an RBI for McIntyre. Stallions are now within 1 with Tyler Bach at the plate.
That's a very big at-bat from Matt McIntyre. We mentioned he's been kind of getting into the swing of things as of late, and that's going to make it 4 hits in his last 5 games. Has a hit in 4 of his last 5 games.
That one misses outside to Bach. Stallions within 1, just the response you want to see after falling down 2-0 in the first.
Yeah, definitely. The last time they were here, it seemed like a impossible way to come back when they were down 9 runs after the first inning, but only 2-1 deficit going into the top of the second here, and they're definitely not going to back down, only trailing 2 games to the Mohawks at this point in the season.
The 1-0. Bach fouls it to the right side. It's 1-1. And that's a good sign to see from McIntyre as well. Hard contact to the left side, something that we really haven't seen from him in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was a very big hit from Matt McIntyre. It was a hard-hit ground ball that DiGiorno had a really tough time fielding because it was at him really quickly.
Bach cuts and misses on the fastball, 1-2 count.
Now, Bach, even though he bats at the bottom of the lineup, is the perfect lineup flipper. On the year, he already has 20 runs, and he also has 9 stolen bases. So much speed on the base pass creates a lot of chaos for the opposing teams.
1-2 count. Hernandez deals, misses outside. The control's really been a problem for Zach Hernandez so far.
Yeah, imagine if he lets Bach aboard here, that he will be pulled out of this ball game.
Especially with Andrew Amato coming to the dish next for Saugerties. 2-2 count. McIntyre is at second. Stallions have plated 1 here in the top half of the second. The wind, the kick, the pitch. Misses down low, and the count will go full. Full count to Tyler Bach. McIntyre is at second. There's 1 out here in the top half of the second in which the Stallions have scored a run.
Bach has to be very disciplined here. I mean, he's been disciplined all season at 17 walks coming into this one.
Most likely will be fastball. Here's the pitch. It misses on the outside. It's a 1-out walk to Tyler Bach. And now there'll be runners at first and second with 1 out for Andrew Amato.
Very good at bat there from Tyler Bach. Went down in that one early, 0-2, and just battled back to see 4 balls and get aboard for the top of the order. And as I mentioned, such a great lineup flipper. Gets on base so much and sets up guys like Amato on the top of the order to bring him in.
And a ball to the outfield. Bach could score with his speed over at first base. 4 walks in this outing for Zach Hernandez. He's really struggled. But one guy he has dominated so far is Andrew Amato. Caught him looking for the first out of the ball game.
We know Amato's going to be angry with that at bat. Definitely going to look for a fastball he can hit hard. Maybe out of here.
That one catches the outside part of the zone for strike one.
See Amato kind of shake his head. Probably not agreeing with that outside fastball call. It's a very tough pitch to hit and a pitch you don't want to really attack as a hitter.
A 1 count to Andrew Amato. McIntyre is at second, Bach at first. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Amato takes it upstairs, 1-1. Just the guy that you want up in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, coming in this one with a 1.112 OPS, that's extremely high through 15 games, and that last pitch there shows you his discipline as well. He fought 14 walks on the season as well as 14 hits, so matching his hit and walk total throughout the season.
Runners at first and second. The 1-1. Catches the outside part of the plate once again, and it's 1-2 to Andrew Amato.
Hernandez is living on the outside corner right now. 2 that barely caught the corner and 1 that was just high.
Amato taking his time. 1-2 count, 1 out. Tying run is at second in the form of Matt McIntyre. The pitch. Amato slaps it into center field. Coming around to score is McIntyre. It's a tie ball game, 2-2.
I mean, we mentioned Andrew Amato definitely probably was upset with himself after that last at-bat going down looking and just makes up for it right here with an RBI single up the middle. Gets another outside pitch, and he just goes that way with it up the middle for an RBI.
Just what you want to see out of Andrew Amato. We will see a pitching change here for the Mohawks. Zach Hernandez is out of this game. Gage Haley coming in. Runners at first and second for the Stallions. Mario Trivella coming up to the dish with 1 out here in the top half of the second. We'll be right back.
Quick. Another ad, yeah, just do that. You can stop it.
Top half of the second. Stallions have played it 2. Still have runners at first and second. Gage Haley is on to pitch for the Mohawks.
Yeah, Gage Haley comes in this one. He's appeared in 8 games for the Mohawks. He started 4 of those. Has 21 innings pitched on the year, 28 strikeouts. He's given up 12 walks, 22 hits, and has an ERA sitting at 4.28.
Gage Haley is a big guy. He stands at 6'7", which gives him a lot of velocity with the fastball.
One thing I cannot wait to see is Gage Haley versus Peyton Bond, 6'7" versus 6'5", 2 really big guys out there. I'm excited to see the outcome of that at bat.
Haley comes out of Mississippi State. He appeared in just 1 game there this season, struck out 2 and walked 2. in 2 innings. And so far this season, like you mentioned, is sporting the 4.28 ERA. Last appearance for him, pitched a singular inning against Albany, 1 hit against 4 batters. Amato is at first, Bach at second, Trivella at the dish here with 1 out. First pitch from Haley misses upstairs for ball 1.
Mentioned Haley's 6'7" frame. Definitely has a pretty decent fastball at that size, but Trivella has the power and has the bat speed to hit his fastball a long, long ways. Already has 2 home runs on this season.
Well, that's the problem we see with Nate Williams when he pitches for Saugerties. If you can get your bat up to the fastball, you can hit the ball pretty far and pretty hard, and the Stallions looking to do that against his Mississippi State teammate, Gage Haley.
Exactly. The faster it comes in, the farther it goes out.
Runners are at first and second, 1 out. Haley deals. Misses off the plate with the off speed. It's 2-0.
We saw a lot of control issues from Hernandez in his outing, and so far Haley 2-0 to Trivella. So if the control issues struggle, the Mohawks got to make a decision quickly if they want to keep him in the game or not.
The 2-0. Trivella smacks that one into left center field. It will get down for a base hit. Bach is going to be held at third. The bases are loaded for back-to-back innings with 1 out.
Unfortunately, the blazing fast Tyler Bach had to hold up on that one because he wasn't sure if that blooper from Trivella was going to get down in left field, not allowing him to score.
Well, also, the blazing fast Javar Williams was chasing after it in center field. Would have been a bang-bang play at the plate, but for the Stallions, just the guy that you want up, Nate Manley, to the dish with the bases loaded.
Yeah, Manley's been a really consistent hitter, as we mentioned throughout the year. Comes in this one batting at .365, walked in his first at-bat, has a home run recently. Could be a good time for one right now.
Stallions have loaded the bases for back-to-back innings. This time the only difference is that there's 1 out on the board. First pitch from Haley catches the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
That's a good take there from Nate Manley. You don't want to swing at a first pitch curveball that Haley just served to him.
Bach is at third, Amato at second, Trivella at first. 2-2 ball game. Stallions have tied it up here in the top half of the second. Yeah, 1. We've seen Haley go to that sweeper twice now, and he's missed off the plate both times.
It definitely going to be an effective pitch against righties, but not if you can't throw it for a strike. Manley is definitely too good of a batter to swing at anything outside the zone, especially that far off the plate.
1-1 count. Changeup finds the zone. It's 1-2.
Manley talking to the umpire after that call. I'm not sure if he just didn't agree with it or was just kind of figuring out the zone a little bit.
Bases are loaded. 1-2 count to Nate Manley. Haley deals. Misses down low. It's 2-2.
Another good take there from Nate Manley. Very good chase pitch in a 1-2 count in the dirt, or try to say turf here at Shuttleworth Park, but usually a pitch that produces a lot of swings and misses.
2-2 count. Bases are juiced. Stallions trying to take the lead here in the top half of the second. Here's the pitch. Manley takes it. The count will go full, and now Haley is at risk of walking in a run.
Yeah, another very good chase pitch there, but Nate Manley just not biting on him. Having a very disciplined at bat.
Yeah, he's doing a very nice job of not letting the moment get too big and staying locked in.
And now Haley has to make a pitch. The pressure's more on him now, because if he throws another ball here, it's another run for the Stallions.
You would expect Haley would go to the fastball here in the full count. Bases are loaded. 1 out in this top half of the second. The pitch. Manley grounds it to the left side. It's over to DiGiorno. He will go home for 1. so they'll get the lead runner. Bach does not score, but the bases will stay loaded on the fielder's choice.
And unfortunately for Tyler Bach there, can't get that run to score. Manly hit it way too hard to DiGiorno at third base for Bach to even have a chance to make it safe at home plate.
But Manly does do a nice job of hustling to first, preventing the double play. Gives Peyton Bonds an opportunity to give the Stallions the lead with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Peyton Bonds was pretty much danced around in his first at-bat. A 3-1 count, he saw a ball 4 away.
He'll take a first pitch strike.
I mean, here's the matchup I've been waiting for. 6'7" Haley versus 6'5" Bonds. Two very big guys.
This is the true definition of power versus power.
Definitely.
Bonds fouls that one off. It's 0-2. Bases are loaded. There's 2 outs in the top half of the second. Peyton Bonds trying to deliver, but he's down 0-2.
A very different at-bat for Peyton Bonds in his second one compared to his first. A 4-1 count ending in that one, and it's 0-2 right now.
Haley hasn't gone to the fastball yet in this at-bat. Spalita is setting up for the sweeper. That one is in there for strike 3. Bonds is caught looking on 3 pitches. The Stallions, though, do tie up this ball game at 2. We're not at 2s as we head to the bottom half of the second. Stay with us. Back here in the bottom half of the second, not at 2s. Casey, we see when the Mohawks and the Stallions meet up, it's either a blowout or an instant classic, and this one seems to be heading the instant classic way.
Yeah, we saw Fosco get a little bit of trouble in that bottom of the first, but was able to get out of it pretty quickly. And the Stallions coming up to bat in the top of the second, down 2-0, fought back right away. Produced 3 hits, got 2 runs, tied it back up. But they did leave 3 runners on base, and they have 5 runners left on base in this one so far.
Yeah, they've had the bases loaded in back-to-back innings. Haven't been able to score with the bases loaded, but are still tied at 2. Tyler Figueroa will lead things off for the Mohawks here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to him misses outside for ball 1.
If you're Vinny Fusco on the mound, you're just trying your hardest to work as quickly as possible and get those bats up for the Stallions. 3 hits in that last inning. They were seeing the ball well.
He misses upstairs. Figueroa is the last out of the top 6 in this Mohawk lineup that are batting above 300.
And that really just shows you the depth and the danger of this Mohawk lineup. So many guys can hit for you. If you're Amsterdam, and for any pitcher, it's just a very tall task.
2-1 count here to Figueroa. Fusco seems to be struggling with the control of his fastball. It's 3-1.
He definitely released that one way too early. That was way upstairs and way outside.
This one is popped up on the infield. Fish is charging in. It will be Trivella that's under it, and he's got it for out number 1.
Fusco doing the smart thing there, letting his infielders call him off. We saw him kind of waiting for an infielder to call it off. Eventually, Girella did, but that's just a smart play as a pitcher. You don't want to go ahead and make plays you don't have to.
Rob Rispoli will be the next for the Mohawks. He's sporting just below a 300 average this season. That one misses outside for ball one.
And might add, what a big out that was for Fusco. We saw him struggling in that at bat, down 3-1, and Figueroa makes a mistake swinging at a pitch and popping it straight up.
That one misses on the inside. It's 2-0. One out here in the bottom half of the second, tied at 2 from Shuttleworth Park. 2-0. Grounded to the left side. It will get past Fish. This ball is headed into the corner. Amato will field it off the wall. It's a stand-up double for Rob Rispoli.
We've seen Brandon Fish make some really great plays over there at third base, but there's nothing you can do about that one. Rob Rispoli hit that one hard down the line, and Fish didn't have the timing to get to it and make a play.
Drake DiGiorno will be the next bat for the Mohawks. One out. Rispoli is over at second. DiGiorno is the second to worst hitter in this Mohawks lineup, despite batting a .254 on the year.
And that's not even that bad of a batting average, if you ask me. That's really average, but you can definitely get by in this league with a .254.
Swings through the first pitch from Fusco. It's 0-1. He grounds this one to the left side. Trivella will field, throw to first, not on line, and going over to third will be Rispoli.
Curious to see how they'll score that one. Trivella running to his right.
It'll be counted as a hit.
It will be a hit. Yeah, it's a very, very tough play for Trivella to make. Bring his body away from the ball, or excuse me, away from the play. First base on the opposite side of the field, obviously, sitting at shortstop. So just a tough throw to make.
And now you wonder, should he have held that ball to hold Rispoli over at second? Double play is still in order. There's one out. Next batter for the Mohawks will be Sebastian Harden.
Maybe if he'd faked that throw over to first base to get Rispoli to get off second.
This one's hit to right field. Ford is on his horse. It will drop fair. A run is going to come around to score. Ford throws this one in. It's an RBI double for Sebastian Harden, and the Mohawks retake the lead. It's 3-2.
Yeah, we mentioned the Stallions not backing down and tying the ball game up in the top of the second. The Mohawks saw the challenge from the Stallions and brought it right back to them. 3 straight hits in this bottom of the second.
And that's such a hard play for Justin Ford to make out there in right field. That ball was stuck right on the right field line. Not much that he could have done. It'll be the 10-hole hitter, Steven Spolita, with runners at second and third. First pitch to him is a strike.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ford, he has to have some lightning fast speed if he wants to get all the way over there and make that play.
Just speaks to the dimensions of this ballpark. Mohawks taking full advantage of them so far, but Fusco has Spolita in an 0-2 count.
This is a big out here for Fusco. Already has one out in the inning. Would be big to get a second out with runners at second and third right now, taking away the sacrifice fly.
3-2 ball game. Pitch inside, and it ends up hitting the umpire, so it'll be 1-2.
Very weird. It looks like it hit Spolita at the plate right there, but I guess it just got right by his shoulder and hit the umpire's shoulder instead.
1-2 count. Runners at second and third. One out here in the bottom half of the second, in which the Mohawks have retaken the lead 3-2. Fusco deals. Misses down low. A nice block by Yaman. It's 2-2.
Yeah, very nice block by Yaman, and a crucial block at that. If it gets by him, you have Drake DiGiorno at third, and he can definitely score on a pass ball right now.
There's a good chase pitch there from Fusco. It misses, and the count will go full. 3-2. Runners at second and third. 1 out. Bottom half of the second. Steven Spolita at the plate, who is the worst hitter for average in this Mohawks starting 10, sitting at a 243. Fusco's going to step off.
If Fusco just wants to recollect himself, it's a very big pitch in this inning. Does not want to load the bases for the top of the order.
The payoff. That one misses down low. The count will now go full. Excuse me. Runners at second and third.
I'm not sure where that pitch missed. It looked like a pretty good curveball from Fusco on the mound, and it looked like it nabbed the outside corner.
That one does catch the outside corner. Spolita goes down looking, and there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The home crowd letting the umpire know how they feel about that one.
I think that could have been a makeup call. Yeah, that one did look like a ball to me too, but the pitch before that looked like a strike. So the result coming the right way, just not at the right time.
Top of the order for the Mohawks, Javar Williams steps in. First pitch he sees, fouls it off to the left side. It's big for Fusco to have Williams up in this bottom half of the second with 2 outs. Gets that lefty-lefty matchup.
Lefty-lefty matchup, and he produced really weak contact off the bat of Javar Williams last time, which has found the shallow grass out there in center field. Hopefully, if he produces weak contact, it'll be on the ground this time.
2 straight strikes to Williams. He's down 0-2.
And you see Fusco really just battling with runners on base. And that's something you need to have as a starting pitcher, and that's why he's probably going to go another inning, maybe another 2 if he continues to do that.
0-2 count, 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Here's the pitch. That one goes up and out of play. That's going to be called a foul ball. Both runners will have to go back.
That hit the
I'll
bat.
be honest with you, Casey, I've never seen that before.
When did that hit the bat of Javar Williams? I'm very confused.
And excuse me, a run will score. They're going to say Javar Williams was hit on the pitch. He will go to first. Runners at the corners, it's 4-2 Mohawks.
Wait, if Javar Williams hit by the pitch, shouldn't it be a dead ball?
I just don't understand how Javar Williams gets to first in that scenario. That one is very puzzling to me.
If it hits him, it's a dead ball, so the runner would not score, and they'd be bases loaded right now. So how is he aboard? Catcher's interference, maybe? That
could be catcher's interference.
But that's also
yes,
a dead ball, is it not?
That would also be a dead ball.
Hold on.
That's confusing. This one's lined into right center field. It will get down. The Mohawk lead is extended to 3. It's 5-2.
And I'm still confused on that Javar Williams play, but Evan Hager taking advantage of the opportunity and lining a single up the middle to add another run in this inning for the Mohawks.
So that's going to go down as an error originally on Tyler Bach out there in center field. It's still confusing as to how Javar Williams did reach base, but he's over at third now. Matilli hits this one into right field. Ford under it, and he's got it for out number 3. 2 outs, plaguing the Stallions once again. It was 3-2 with 2 outs. Some interesting calls happen, and then it's 5-2 Mohawks as we head to the third. Stallions trailing by 3. So, Casey, I got some explanation on that last play. It was a 1-2 count. It was a drop third strike that ended up going out of play, which allowed Williams to get to first and the run to come home from third.
That makes a lot more sense now, Dan. I was very confused on why Jamar Williams was aboard there. I thought it was a dead ball, and that wouldn't have made any sense at all. Thankfully, we get the right call, and that is correct. If Jamar Williams swings misses at that pitch, he has the opportunity to run first base because it was unoccupied, and there was 2 outs, so either way, it doesn't matter. And the ball goes out of play, so everyone advances 1.
Stallions are down by 3 here in the top half of the third. Eddie Yaman will lead things off. And once again, Casey, you look at the left on base, 5 in this game. Stallions have had the bases loaded twice in the first 2 innings. It's just a failure to capitalize on their opportunities so far, but it's still extremely early in this game.
Yeah, that's a very big reason why the Stallions are down. They have 5 runners left on base so far in this one.
Yaman half swings. Ball is grounded to Figueroa. He will throw to first for out number 1.
And that's just very frustrating if you're a hitter. You don't want to swing at that pitch. You check your swing, and you still make contact, and you have to run it out because it's in fair territory, even though you didn't want to swing at it.
So we have seen the Stallions down by 3 runs here at Shuttleworth Park once before. That was in the 8-7 loss. They would plate 4 runs between the 6th and the 7th to regain the lead before Amsterdam put up 3 of their own in the 8th to take an 8-4 lead. And then the Stallions would put up 3 in the 9th before losing 8-7. Stallions at this point are used to playing from behind at Shuttleworth Park.
Yeah, they're used to playing from behind at Shuttleworth Park, but they have yet to overcome any deficit here. They came very close in the first game up at Shuttleworth when they were down 4 runs going into the top of the 9th. They put up 3, but just came up short.
Justin Ford's done a good job in this at-bat. It's 3-0 to him, grounded out to short in his first at-plate appearance.
And if you're the Stallions, you still have a lot of time on your side. It's only the 3rd inning, and you're down by 3 runs. It's a very easy deficit to make up with that amount of time.
4-pitch walk to Justin Ford. Stallions will have a base runner with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd.
I saw a lot of control issues from Hernandez to start this one. Haley had a bit of trouble in that first inning he pitched, or the first 2/3, I should say, but got into a groove and finished off the second inning strong. Coming here with a little bit more control issues in the top of the 3rd.
Ryan Rescio to the dish now for the Stallions. Was hit by the first pitch he saw in the top half of the 2nd. That one catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1.
Rescue has been making hard contact as of late at the plate almost 3 out of 4 times. If he makes hard contact here tonight, it could be a home run for the Stallions.
Had a home run in Game 1 of that Albany doubleheader just a couple days ago. We'll give a check over on Ford.
Yeah, we didn't really get to talk about Ryan Rescio in his last at-bat because he was hit on the first pitch, but
smacks this one to the left side. What a play by DiGiorno. He will throw to 3rd. It's over to first in time. A beautiful 5-4-3 double play ends this top half of the 3rd.
And that really just stinks if you're Ryan Rescio because he's been hitting the ball hard, hits the ball hard again, but Drake DiGiorno makes
Back here in the bottom half of the third, Stallions with an unlucky break in that top half of the third. Resio grounding into a 5-4-3 double play. But you look to the pitching side now. Vince Fusco needs a 0. He's given up 5 runs to start this outing. Not all entirely his fault, but needs to start limiting the damage and prevent the Mohawks from adding up more runs.
It definitely needs to put up a 0 in this inning. There's no motion in the bullpen yet for the Stallions, so it looks like the third will be Fusco's, barring any horrible inning.
Cade Ladahoff starts off this bottom half of the third for the Mohawks. He's in a 1-1 count. And Ladahoff's first at-bat had a sac fly, which plated the second run of the game for Amsterdam. Curveball misses. It's 2-1.
The most runs Fusco has allowed in a single game is 4. The most earned runs he's allowed is 2. So already allowing the most earned runs in a single outing this year.
That one's poked to the right side. Ford will grab it at the wall, limits Ladahoff to a single, but it's a leadoff base runner here for the Mohawks in the bottom of the third.
And for Vince Fusco, that's the exact opposite of what you needed to start this inning.
Jimmy Dion will step in. Dion is the only strikeout of the game for Fusco.
Be a good time for another strikeout here, or if Vinny Fusco can roll a ground ball.
First pitch that Dion sees finds the zone for strike 1. That one's grounded to the right side. Resio will go to second for 1. Won't be in time over to first, but Stallions get the lead runner, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the third.
Smart play there from Resio, noticing that Cade Ladahoff had to check up because he didn't want to run into that ball, and getting rid of the lead runner, taking a little bit more pressure off of Fusco instead of getting the out at first.
Tyler Figueroa will step in now for the Mohawks. 1 out in the bottom of the third. Dion is over at first after the fielder's choice. In his first plate appearance, Figueroa popped out over to Trabella at short.
If Figueroa worked himself into a very good hitter's count, he was in a 3-1 count. When he got that pop-up, just missed a fastball. Hopefully Fusco can get himself into a better count here.
Throw down by Yaman. Resio can't grab it. It will go into the outfield. Bach backs it up. It was a perfect throw there by Yaman, but Resio just couldn't come up with it.
Maybe showing a little bit of the inexperience there at second base. Resio very recently moving to second base in the last 5 games or so. He's probably still getting used to position a little bit.
Traditionally a third baseman, but has been moved over to second with Rich Rodriguez being out of the lineup. It's another runner in scoring position here for the Mohawks. That one finds the zone. It's 1-1 to Tyler Figueroa. That was just Dion's third stolen base of the year. The 1-1. Misses on the inside. It's 2-1.
Very good take there from Tyler Figueroa. Curveball that just missed the inside corner.
Here's the 2-1. Misses at the top of the zone. It's 3-1.
Figueroa puts himself in another 3-1 count. Last time it was in this 3-1 count, he popped it up to the middle of the infield. Trevella called everybody off. Fusco looking for the exact same result right now to help get out of this inning.
That one's fouled back, and the count will go full. Stallions trailing by 3. Mohawks have put up 5 straight runs between the first and second. 2 in that first, 3 in that second. Saugerties scoring their runs in the top half of the second, putting up 2. Here's the payoff. Misses on the inside. It's a walk to Tyler Figueroa.
Vinny Fusco there just worked himself into a very tough at-bat, and he went down 3-1 early. Was able to make it a full count, but just missed on the inside corner there again, and now has a troublesome situation with runners on first and second and only one out.
Rob Rispoli will be the next member of this Mohawks team to step up to the dish. Runners at first and second, one out in this bottom of the third. That one catches the bottom part of the zone for strike one.
Fusco goes right back to attacking that inside corner.
A 1 count. Gets Rispoli swinging. It's 0-2. We see Sean Shipley, the former Stallion, warming in the bullpen. If he is brought into this game, it'll be his first appearance this season.
Yeah, he played with the Stallions last year. It's a pretty solid pitcher.
Pitched 32 and two-thirds innings this past season at his JUCO. That one hits Rispoli, and the bases will be loaded with one out.
Just something you cannot do in the situation is load the bases, especially on a hit by pitch or a walk. And the last two guys, a walk and hit by pitch, so now I'm meeting here for the Stallions.
Now we will see a mound visit from pitching coach Rich Doobie. We've seen this go down before, Casey. Mohawks with the bases loaded. Drake DiGiorno coming to the dish, and he has a chance to blow this game wide open right now.
It definitely has a very big opportunity here with the bases loaded and only one out. I mean, even a fly ball scores a run right now for the Mohawks, so Fusco has to be very careful about pitching to Drake DiGiorno, who already has a single in this one.
He would come around to score for the fourth run of the game for the Mohawks. We did see Sean Shipley warming in the bullpen. Sported a 3.09 ERA with the Stallions last year.
So definitely a pretty good arm. The Stallions need it in this inning.
Bases are loaded. One out, bottom half of the third. Drake DiGiorno at the dish for the Mohawks. First pitch to him is a curveball in there for strike one. A 1 count. Misses outside. That one gets past Yaman. Chugging home will be Ladahoff, and he is going to score. It's 6-2.
And that one's going to fall on Fusco. Nothing Yaman can really do there. A fastball way off the outside corner. Yaman just doesn't have the cat-like reflexes to get that one.
It will be ruled as a passed ball as it hit Yaman's glove, but really should be classified as a wild pitch. Nothing that he could do. 6-2 ball game here at Shuttleworth Park. Runners still at second and third. The infield is in for Saugerties. That one's fouled back. 1-2 count. Casey, they're going to need to dig deep if they want to earn a victory here, get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, and it all starts with getting Drake DiGiorno out right now. In a 1-2 count with runners on second and third, this is a big out for the Stallions.
And it's not as if Fusco has pitched bad in this outing. He's pitched to contact. The ball's just been hit to the right places here at Shuttleworth. Just like that one. It's hit to left field. Going back on it is Amato. He's going to grab it. Tagging home here is Dion. He will score. The Mohawk lead is up to 5.
Yeah, just another one where Amato really can't do anything about that. It's hit way too deep for him to even have a chance at the plate. The third sack fly the Mohawks have taken advantage of in this ballgame.
It's 7-2 Mohawks. They put up 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 here in the third. Playing at Shuttleworth Park has been this team's kryptonite this season. That one's in there for strike one. And in case you look down the line, they're most likely going to have to come back here if they want to go to the PGCBL Championship, and will have to win.
Yeah, definitely. If they don't pull out a victory here tonight, they're going to fall another game behind the Mohawks. And 3 games behind the Mohawks with just about a week left to play. It's pretty much impossible to come back from.
The Mohawks will also have a chance to go another game up tomorrow. They have a doubleheader here at Shuttleworth Park against Albany. If they are to sweep, both those games valued at half a game.
And the Stallions coming off of a sweep against the Albany Baseball Club on Tuesday.
I mean, it's just something about this ballpark that gets to this team. They've been magnificent as of late at home and on the road. 6 straight wins, but when they enter Shuttleworth Park, it's like that all disappears. 1-2 count. Fusco deals. Strike 3. He gets Harden looking for out number 3. But it's not before the Mohawks put 2 more on the board. They lead it by 5 as we head to the 4th. Top half of the 4th here from Shuttleworth Park. The last time that the Stallions traveled up to Shuttleworth Park, they got defeated 18-2. Mohawks put up 10 runs in the first 2 innings. Not as bad, but nearly the same thing here tonight. Stallions are trailing by 5. They've left the bases loaded in the first 2 innings and just got unlucky in that 3rd. If they want to have any chance of getting back in this ballgame, they've got to start chipping away. Have come back from 5 down before. That was in the first game of this 6-game win streak against Mohawk Valley. But it's even more difficult when you're on the road against the Mohawks.
Yeah, that comeback came against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs at home. So a lot less pressure on them to come back. I mean, the hometown crowd here is definitely make it tough, make a lot of noise, especially when the Stallions are threatening or when they're not threatening. And the Amsterdam Mohawks just been a great team all year long. The pitching has been phenomenal, and the hitting has been phenomenal. They lead the league in average, and they're right up there in ERA, if not leading it. I know we're close to. But if the Stallions want to win, they have to get runners aboard to start this inning. Brendan Fish is going to start us off.
And it's not like the Stallions can't beat the Mohawks. The season series sits at 4-3, but all 3 of the wins for Saugerties have come at home.
Yeah, it's just been winning here is the issue for the Stallions against the Mohawks. And the Mohawks have had their troubles at Kentine Field, but they did grab 1 earlier this year.
Fish chases outside. It's 0-2.
Definitely not the start to the inning the Stallions are hoping for. Fish, a good hitter, but in an 0-2 count, it's tough to come back from.
Haley shakes off his signs, now comes set. Here's the pitch. Gets Fish swinging on 3 pitches for out number 1 of this top half of the 4th. Fish's second strikeout of the day.
And we talked about Fish being on fire coming into this one, batting a .500 through those first 4 games, and so far he's kind of looked lost at the plate. 2 strikeouts swinging.
Matt McIntyre will be the next to step up for the Stallions. He had a double in that top half of the 2nd, which would plate the 2nd run of the game for the Stallions. Swings at the first pitch he sees, tails it down the right field line. Hager chasing. He won't be able to make the play. It'll go foul for strike 1.
And the Stallions just can't catch a break. If that ball stays fair and Hagar's on the ground diving for it, it could easily be a triple. But since it just tails barely foul, McIntyre has to come back to the dish and do it all over again.
This ballpark has plagued the Stallions in this game. We've seen most of the Mohawk runs come with balls either hit down the left field line or right down into the right corner alley. It's not as if the Stallions have had chances to make the plays. The Mohawks have just been putting the ball in really good parts of this ballpark.
Yeah, we saw that fly ball in the first inning to right field that went off the top of the wall. That would be a fly out anywhere else.
McIntyre takes that one inside. It's 1-1. 7-2 game here in the top half of the fourth. That's a pitch McIntyre is going to want back.
It's a pretty good pitch there from Haley. I mean, it was a curveball on the outside corner, but he did kind of hang it a little bit, and that's why McIntyre is shaking his head.
That one misses down, though. We look back to that Mohawk Valley game where the Stallions were trailing by 5. The Diamond Dogs put up 5 in the first. Stallions wouldn't score till the 6th. When they did scored 2 straight to make the game 5-2 before the Diamond Dogs put up 2 in the 8th, making it 7-2, just like it is right now. Saugerties would put up 6 between the 8th and 9th to win the ball game. Going to need some of that magic here tonight at Shuttleworth.
Definitely going to need some of that magic and a lot of fight in the Stallions ball club.
McIntyre lines that one into the alley. But chasing over is Williams, and he's got it for out number 2.
McIntyre hit that one on a line out there, but that just shows you the speed of Javar Williams making that play. Didn't really get a great jump on it, but was able to make up for it with those legs.
And I think that's another ball at Cantine Field that would get down as everybody would be pushed back around 20 feet. With 2 outs in this top half of the fourth, Tyler Bach will step in. Bach walked in his first plate appearance. It's 1-0.
And really adds to the difficulty for opposing teams coming to Shuttleworth Park. They aren't used to the dimensions and all of that when playing here.
Bach steps out, 1-0 count. 2 outs in this top half of the fourth. That one misses inside. 2-0 to Tyler Bach.
Tyler Bach was able to work a walk in his first at-bat, but he really had to battle for that when he went down 0-2 early and had to battle for those 4 balls.
Misses down low. 3 balls, no strikes to Tyler Bach with 2 outs.
If the Stallions do want to make a 2-out rally, this is the guy to start it with.
Especially with Andrew Amato on deck.
Yeah, Tyler Bach gets on and the top of the order comes right up.
He will get on. And we've said, even when he's in the 9 or the 10 hole, he's a bona fide leadoff man.
Yeah, exactly. He flips the lineup right over with the runner on base almost 5 times out of 10. He's on base so much.
Andrew Amato will step in now for the Stallions. Had an RBI single in the second. Struck out looking in his first at-bat. Amato trying to spark some life into the Stallions offense.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this one, Tyler Bach's on-base percentage was .481. That's already gone up. It might be sitting at .500 right now.
Amato will take a first pitch strike. 2 outs in the top half of the fourth. Saugerties has had a base runner in every single inning of this game, but has only put up 2 runs. The 0-1. Amato with a big swing and a miss. It's quickly 0-2.
Amato definitely looking to hit one out on that pitch there. Now he needs to stay within himself, just get a board for the next man up, Mario Trivella, to try and get Tyler Bach home from second base. Any way on is good here in the scenario.
0-2. 2 outs. Haley deals. Amato hits it over to second. Figueroa throws to first. It's in time for out number 3. Stallions have been held scoreless in the third and fourth. Mohawks keep the lead at 5 as we head to the bottom half of the fourth. Bottom half of the fourth. First, Dallas Hot Wiener is called to the bullpen of the game for head coach Colin Martin. And it's the 2023 arm Sean Shipley on in his first appearance.
Yeah, just giving you the 2023 numbers for Sean Shipley. Last year he had an ERA sitting at 3.09 in 11 games played. He didn't start any of those games, however. He also had 2 saves. Pitched 11 2/3 innings, had 15 strikeouts. It gave up 9 walks and 8 hits. But let me tell you something, Dan. That 3.09 ERA doesn't really tell the full story because Sean Shipley only allowed 4 runs on the year, earned runs, I should say. And it happened all in one game, and it was the second outing of the year against Oneonta.
Casey, I think we got a little bit scrambled here. It's not actually Sean Shipley on the mound. I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong here, that's Mason Compton. We haven't seen him since June 20th. That's why we thought it was Sean Shipley coming out of the pen, but it actually is the Wofford product, number 24, Mason Compton.
That's right, I just ran through Shipley's numbers for no reason. Here is Mason Compton's numbers on the year. He has a 3.27 ERA. He's appeared in 3 games for the Stallions this year, but the last time he appeared for the Stallions was against the Mohawks on June 20th. It's almost been a full month since Mason Compton has pitched.
We're not sure if he was rehabbing an injury or what was going on. Mason Compton is back with the team. First batter he's going to face here in this outing is the 10-hole hitter, Steven Spalita.
Yeah, Mason Compton not really used to this kind of role. Only has started so far this year for the Stallions. So his first time in relief.
Four-pitch walk to Steven Spalita here in the bottom half of the fourth.
Javar Williams comes to the plate in this one. Been aboard both times, so the second time was that drop third strike. That was a pretty confusing play.
So, Casey, we were right. It is Sean Shipley on the mound. Mason Compton is no longer with the team. So Shipley starts his outing with a 4-pitch walk to Steven Spalita and is facing the top of the order with Javar Williams at the dish. Going over to second is Spalita. Hit and run is hit to Resio. It goes off of Spalita. He will be out.
It's just the break Sean Shipley is looking for right there. Gets a free out off of the dead ball that hit Spalita running the second base.
So get this. That's now back-to-back at-bats for Javar Williams where he's reached on a dead ball. First one was that one in the dirt that ended up going over the netting. This time, Spalita is hit with the ball, and he's out. So there'll be a runner at first for Evan Hager here in the bottom half of the fourth. Like we did mention, it is Sean Shipley on the mound for the Stallions. His first appearance of the year. Going to second is Williams. Here's the throw down by Yaman, not in time. The speedy Javar Williams stacks his 12th stolen base of the year.
And that's a really good job from Javar Williams. Got a great jump. Eddie Yaman really can't do anything about that one. Makes a pretty good throw just off to the left side a little bit, so hard to apply the tag in time to get him out.
Shipley this past season from his Florida JUCO, 31 2/3 innings pitched, 42 Ks, 27 hits with the fastball topping 91 miles per hour. That one finds the zone for strike one. Williams is at second. There's one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Yaman blocks that one. So far in this game, Hager is 2 for 2, had a double in the first, and then an RBI single in the second.
And that's the double that Justin Ford couldn't catch because it went out the top of the wall in the first inning. And ultimately what it led to 2 sac flies in a row for the Mohawks to start off this game.
That one misses down low. 3-1 count to Evan Hager.
Last year, Shipley allowed 9 walks in 11 2/3 innings, so almost averaging a walk an inning, being a little wild right now.
Javar Williams is at second. There's one out here in the bottom of the fourth. It's the second walk of this inning from Shipley, and there'll be runners at first and second with one out. Not the worst thing in the world, as that will now reset up the double play. But Jackson Natilli comes to the dish. He's a powerful guy. 0 for 1 today with the sac fly.
Yeah, both balls that he's hit today have been hit to the outfield. Both the right field, I believe, too.
Sac fly plated the first run of this ball game, and he gets hit.
Just not what you want to see if you're head coach Colin Martin or pitching coach Rich Doobie. 3 walks of the inning, one of them being a hit by pitch, and 2 of them to help load the bases here with only 1 out.
It's just so interesting to see the stark difference of these Stallions pitchers at home versus here at Shuttleworth Park. Fusco has been amazing this season. He gets lit up, 7 runs on his line here at Shuttleworth. Sean Shipley, 3 ERA this past season. Already has the bases loaded, 3 walks in the first 4 batters that he faces. It's something about being here at Shuttleworth Park that is rattling this staff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the different kind of energy you get from this crowd, and just facing such a tough lineup to boot. It's a very hard combo when you're a pitcher, hearing all the noise from the fans and having to face such talented hitters.
This one's hit into left field. Amato will have a play. We'll see if Williams tests his arm. It is short in the outfield. He fires in. There's 2 outs in this fourth.
That time, Amato is shallow enough to make a play if Javar Williams wants to run, but the Hempstead Mohawks third base coach doing the smart thing and holding Javar Williams at third. And that's a big out there from Sean Shipley on the mound. Now takes away the sac fly with 2 outs.
He's 1 out away from putting up the first 0 of the ball game for Saugerties. He'll have to face Jimmy Dion. Reached on a fielder's choice and then came around to score in the third. First pitch misses outside. Nice job by Yaman keeping it close.
I just say, going back to that last at-bat, Cade Ladoff leads the home run in a home run, so very big out there from Sean Shipley with the bases loaded.
Got Ladoff to just get under that fastball. Popped out to left field. One-0 count. Bases are full of Mohawks. There's 2 outs in the bottom half of the fourth. Stallions trailing by 5, trying to keep the deficit at 5. That one's looped into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. That one goes past Ford. 3 runs are going to come around to score. Going to third is Dion. He will be out, but 3 runs score. It's a 3 RBI double, and the Mohawks lead 10-2. This game is feeling like that 18-2 ball game already, Casey. The Stallions have absolutely no answers for this Mohawks squad.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, they've given
Top half of the 5th, Dan Shalom with you alongside Casey DeSalle here in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. Mohawks plate 3 more, and it once again comes back to 2 outs in the inning. Mohawks have scored 5 out of the 10 of their runs in this game with 2 outs on the board.
You look back just 2 innings ago, Dan, we were talking about how it's only a 3-run deficit. It's a very easy comeback for the Stallions if they have to make it. Now it seems almost impossible. They're down 8 runs. Still a lot of time left in this ballgame, 5 innings to play, but 8 runs in the it's not Mohawk Valley, the Amsterdam Mohawks batting has been on fire in this one. They've got 8 hits so far, in 10 runs in just 4 innings.
And we thought it was going to be a really tight game between these 2 squads, but the Mohawks doing what they do best, blowing by squads with just an insurmountable amount of runs. They've put up now 8 unanswered after the Stallions tied the game at 2 in the second.
Yeah, I mean, the Stallions pitching hasn't been quite the same, especially as we've seen over the winning streak. The past 6 games, they've been flat-out dominant, and now they're struggling against this talented Amsterdam Mohawk lineup.
Mario Trivella will lead things off for the Stallions here in the top half of the 5th.
Trivella is 1 for 2 in this one, has a single and a strikeout.
That one does catch the zone. It's 0-2.
I mean, after Hernandez outing, Haley's really come in and shut the door against these Stallions.
And we've seen non-competitive at-bats. Brandon Fish going down on 3 pitches. Eddie Yaman popping out over to second base. It's just been rough for this squad, and it highlights their struggles here at this ballpark.
It definitely highlights their struggles here at this ballpark. We mentioned haven't won here yet this season. Last time they were here, they lost 18-2. Only had 2 hits in that one.
Two. Misses outside. Count will go full.
This is a very good at-bat from Mario Trivella. Went down 0-2 very quickly and has seen 3 straight balls in a row. Doing a good job of staying disciplined, not swinging at pitches outside the zone.
He gets rung up looking for out number 1. That's the 4th strikeout of this game where the Stallions have gone down just looking. No swing.
Yeah,
that can't happen.
4 strikeout looking and 6 strikeout overall. The Amsterdam Mohawk pitchers definitely winning in that department so far tonight.
Nate Manley, the next up for the Stallions. First pitch to him misses down low.
Nate Manley has been aboard in both at bats, reaching a fielder's choice in the second and a walk in the first.
Misses down low, 2-0.
Haley's starting to look a little wild here in this fifth inning. Had 3 balls to Trivella and has now 2 to Nate Manley.
Manley with a feeble swing right there. That's 2-2.
Definitely fooled Manley on that 2-0 pitch. You're a hitter at the plate. You don't swing at a 2-0 curveball very often unless they hang it. Just a very good pitch from Haley.
Misses on the outside, 3-1. Just to give some context about the struggles for Saugerties here at Shuttleworth Park, they've been outscored 42-14 through just 3 games here. That one does catch the zone. The count will go full.
And I mean, that's just a rough stat to look at if you're a Stallions fan or part of the organization. But you can attribute a lot of that run deficit to that 18-2 loss last time they're here.
Beautiful play there by Rispoli. Bare hands it, fires to first. 2 quick outs here in the 5th. Nothing going right for the Stallions.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of great plays, one by Joey DiGiorno out there at third base, turning that double play in the 3rd inning, and now a great barehanded play by Robert Spoli up the middle to retire Trivella here in the top of the 5th. The Stallions can't get a hit going. Even if they do hit the ball well, they can't get on board. They're making great plays out there. Pitching is struggling. It looks like the Stallions that we saw in that 5-game slide just a couple weeks ago.
First pitch to Peyton Bonds misses upstairs for ball 1. Chases that one. It's 1-1. While the pitching has been bad, we've also seen uncharacteristic hitting from the Stallions. They've been chasing a lot at those off-speed pitches.
Yeah, usually a team that's very disciplined has a lot of walks coming into this game. Especially
Bonds lines that one to the alley. It will get down. It's a 2-out single for Peyton Bonds.
Yeah, the Stallions have had a lot.
Ball's bobbled in the outfield, and he will go over to second.
I didn't even notice that. My bad, Dan. But before he hit that ball, scorched into left field, I was talking about how the Stallions have had a lot of walks in this 6-game winning streak. They've been staying really disciplined at the plate, getting into good hitters' counts, hitting the ball hard. A lot of that we're not seeing tonight, and you contribute that to this 10-2 deficit.
Eddie Yaman will step to the dish now with 2 outs. Peyton Bonds is over at second. Yaman in this game 0 for 1. Pops this one up over into left field. Harden under it. Makes the catch for out number 3. Stallions haven't scored a run since the 2nd. The Mohawk lead stays at 8. Bottom half of the 5th, Sean Shipley is out there for his 2nd inning of work. And at this point, the Stallions just need to put up a 0 from the pitching side for their own dignity. They've allowed the Mohawks to score at least 2 runs in each of the first 4 innings of this game.
Yeah, if the Stallions want any chance at coming back in this one.
It's not even about coming back. It's you've allowed the Mohawks to score on you every single inning of this game. Stop the bleeding for once.
Well, yeah, you have to put up a 0 here if you want to build any sort of momentum in this ball game, and it starts right now. I mean, we're getting into the later half of this ball game. If you want to win, it has to start now.
Ever since the Mohawks took that 5-2 lead, the offense has gone completely quiet, and it's not like the pitching has helped whatsoever. Tyler Figueroa will start things off in the bottom of the 5th. He's 0 for 1 today. First pitch he sees is in there for a strike one. And I just want to highlight this, Casey. Despite it being a 10-2 ball game, this ballpark is still packed full of fans of the Mohawks.
Yeah, these Mohawk fans love Amsterdam baseball, that's for sure. They're always here till the end.
That one's hit to left field. Amato is going back. He's on the track and pulls it in for out number 1.
Good start to the inning for Sean Shipley. Last half inning, he pitched. He allowed a walk to start off the inning. This time gets a nice fly out to left field, hopefully setting himself up for the first scoreless inning for the Stallions.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Shipley had 3 walks out of his first 4 batters to start off his bottom half of the 4th before a 3 RBI double by Jimmy Dion. He would eventually be tagged out at 3rd. But it's just been a struggle all around. Rispoli at the plate. He's 1 for 1 tonight. That one misses. It's 1-1. You look ahead for the Stallions. They will have off tomorrow before hosting the Glens Falls Dragons on Saturday, and then we'll welcome in the Amsterdam Mohawks come Sunday. That'll be the last time that Amsterdam travels to Cantine Field this season. That one goes over the head of Rispoli, and it's 2-1.
We mentioned Sean Shipley was a little wild in the first inning of work. Right now, showing a little bit more of that control issue.
Rispoli hits this one to 3rd. Fish fields, throws across the diamond, and time. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
The first time in this game that a Stallions pitcher has retired the first 2 batters against the Amsterdam Mohawks.
And we talked about it beforehand. Your pitching either has to be sound or you have to get ahead by a lot early against this Mohawks team. The pitching staff today, lots of walks, and they've had trouble controlling, forcing them to throw good pitches in unfavorable counts.
Yeah, you mentioned had to get ahead early. Pitch has to be good. 0 for 2 on those today, Dan. Not off to a good start. Got behind pretty early. They did come back in that second inning, but after that, they haven't been able to scratch across the run, and the pitching has just gotten worse, it seems, as it gone on, until this inning looks a little up for the Stallions pitching staff.
0-2. Strike 3 gets DiGiorno swinging. First 1-2-3 inning of the game for the Mohawks. They keep their lead at 8 as we head to the 6th. Casey, it was you and I last time that the Stallions lost 18-2 here at Shuttleworth Park. And as we headed towards the latter half of that ball game, we just said, carry the momentum into your next game. Maybe you chip away along the way to the end of the game, but just get something going for yourself. Help your own stats, and I think that's the point of the ball game where we've reached today for these Stallions hitters. Justin Ford, Ryan Resio, and Brandon Fish coming up for them. All more than capable guys, but just help yourself right now.
It's really tough to come back right now down 8 runs in the top of the 6th inning. So just to trying to improve your at-bats.
Don't even
just
think
make
about
hard
the deficit.
Contact. Exactly. Just think about yourself at the plate. Do what's best for you in scenario. Try and make some hard contact, get a board, whatever. Pitching side, just try and limit the damage. Try not to allow a run rule or mercy rule here against the Mohawks. We're in the 6th inning. If the Mohawks score 2 more and the Stallions can't score at all, it's over in the 7th.
First pitch to Justin Ford is a ball. Gage Haley is out there once again. He's pitched 3 2/3 innings and is looking to go for more here in the 6th. Off-speed finds the zone for strike 1.
Haley's worked himself into a groove here. Came in after Hernandez had a tough start, and he's really slammed the door on this Saugerties Stallions lineup. Hasn't allowed a run since that 2nd inning.
Ford with a big swing and a miss. It's quickly 1-2.
And there is no motion or anything in the bullpen for the Mohawks, so leads me to believe Haley might be out here for the 7th if he has a clean 6th.
1-2 count. Pitch. Misses down low. 2-2 count to Justin Ford. So far in this game, he's 0 for 1. Came into this matchup leading the team in average, but as of right now, Andrew Amato would lead him as he is 0 for 1 tonight, and Amato is 1 for 2. Ford calls time. Fouls that one off, and the count will stay at 2-2.
Ford doing a good job of spoiling that 2-2 curveball. Haley kind of hung that one, though. Ford kind of shaking his head maybe at that one. If he waited a little bit longer, he could have sent that one deep to right field.
Two. Misses on the inside, and the count will go full.
Good take there from Justin Ford. Fastball clearly off the inside corner of the plate. Works himself into a full count.
Here's the payoff. Ford fouls that one to the left side, and we'll do it again at 3-2.
Yeah, really, Ford just having a good at-bat, like we mentioned. If you're a Stallion right now, just have a good at-bat for yourself. Try and make hard contact. Put it in the field somewhere. See what happens.
The payoff. Ford fouls it off once again.
That's the 4th foul ball of this at-bat. Justin Ford really working against Haley out there.
And it's just like you and I were talking about. Don't mind the difference in this game. Just focus on having a quality at-bat.
Yeah, you're not going to have a good game out there if you're worried about what the scoreboard looks like.
Haley deals. Pitch misses upstairs. It's a leadoff walk to Justin Ford.
Very good at-bat there from Justin Ford. Saw a lot of tough pitches, and he just did a good job protecting the plate and fouling them off.
Ryan Resio will step in now. He was the victim of that 5-4-3 double play, which he hit into in that top half of the 3rd. Absolutely crushed a ball to 3rd base, but Drake DiGiorno made a beautiful play.
And that's when if you're on Ryan Resser, you're just like...
Pops this one up to the right side. Dion is over, and he's got it for out number 1. Brandon Fish will step in now for the Stallions with 1 out. Fish in this game, 2 strikeouts swinging, went down on 3 pitches in the 4th. So just trying to reset here and get back to his old ways.
It's definitely uncharacteristic for Brandon Fish to go down strikes, let alone one time, but 2 times in a ball game. Really consistent hitter before this game, and he's been really disciplined as well.
First pitch from Haley finds the zone for strike 1. That was the changeup. Ford is at first. There's 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Fish chases. We've seen that in back-to-back at-bats for him. Chasing pitches in the other's batter's box, and it's extremely uncharacteristic out of him.
Yeah, Haley's done a good job of attacking these hitters. Only has 2 walks right now on his line, or 3 walks on his line. But he's just putting the pressure on the hitters when he's pounding the strike zone like this.
That one gets by Spalita. Going over to second is Ford.
And that one's definitely going to go as a pass ball. Hit Spalita square in the glove. He just couldn't squeeze it. And it trickled over to the right side, allowing Ford to advance to second base.
1-2 count. Ford in scoring position over there at second. The pitch. Fish fouls it off to the left side.
And we are starting to see some activity in the Mohawk bullpen over there.
One-two count. Fish lines that one to right field. It will get down. Ford is going to be waved home after the ball is booted by Hager in right field. Fish will stop at second. It's a stand-up RBI double, and the lead is cut to 7.
Yeah, just like that. Have yourself a good at-bat. Fish has been struggling all night long. Had 2 strikeouts coming into the at-bat. Got into an 0-2 count. Saw a ball. Fouled one off. And then he gets a pitch he really likes, and he hits a nice line drive down the right field line and scores a run for the Stallions.
It'll bring up Matt McIntyre, who's the other Stallion in this game with a double. And right after Haley gives up an RBI double, with the lead still being at 7, there's going to be a mound visit.
Yeah, I mean, the Mohawks definitely want to diminish any momentum the Stallions can gain here in this ball game. I mean, not much momentum for the Stallions so far. It's 10-3, as you see on the scoreboard, but they don't want to take any chances. They know this squad can come back. They've seen the offensive firepower throughout the year.
10-3 ball game. Fish is over at second. McIntyre coming up to the plate. He's been great in this game. Has gotten the barrel twice. That last at-bat that he had, a line out to center field, was crushed, just hit right to Javar Williams.
Yeah, we kind of attribute that to the dimensions of this ballpark. If you're at Cantine Field, you're way farther back in center field, and you're not making that play because it's going to be a line drive base hit in the gap. But since you're at Shuttleworth Park, you're about, 30, 40 feet in compared to Cantine, and it's a much easier play to make.
First pitch to McIntyre. Pokes it to the right side. Another one of those check swings. Nobody's covering first. McIntyre is going to make it there safely.
McIntyre will take that base hit all day long. I mean, checked his swing, ended up poking it over there to the right side of the infield. Just no one was covering first base. Poor communication there from the Amsterdam Mohawks.
Yeah, Dion shifted over to grab the ball, and Haley didn't think to cover first. Figueroa couldn't get there in time. There's now runners at the corners for Tyler Bach with 1 out.
And Tyler Bach's been aboard both times tonight against Haley. Walked in both at-bats.
First pitch Bach sees, misses outside for ball 1. It's just like we said, at bat by at bat, not try to do too much, and good things will happen.
Yeah, and if Tyler Bach gets aboard again in this inning, it brings up the top of the order with only one out.
Was in this scenario in the fourth, walked to load the bases. He's seen 2 straight balls here.
Tyler Bach's been really good at the plate tonight when it comes to not swinging at balls. I mean, he was in an 0-2 count in that first at bat and was able to battle back for a walk. In the last one, I think it was 4 straight pitches. He's just been very disciplined tonight.
Has walked twice in this ball game. He'll take a 3rd straight ball. It's 3-0. Haley is struggling with the control right now.
Kind of see Haley like bouncing around on there in the mound. He really wanted that pitch, but just can't get a strike across against Tyler Bach.
3-0 count to Bach. 1 out. Runners at the corners. Haley fires a strike.
Tyler Bach's going to watch that one all day long. I mean, 3-0 count. Definitely have the red light here. Down by 7.
And he might still have the red light in a 3-1 count right now.
Yeah, we've noticed a little bit of wildness coming from Haley on the mound.
The 3-1. Catches the inside part of the zone, and the count will go full.
It didn't want to swing at that pitch either. Not a good pitch to hit on the inside corner if you're Tyler Bach. Now has to protect the plate if he wants to get on board.
Here's the payoff. Bach chops it foul, and the count will stay at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Does a good job of spoiling that pitch. Outside fastball. Just wanted to spoil it so he can maybe get one on the inner half. One that he can really drive out there to the outfield.
Haley deals. Bach fights it off once again.
I mean, even if Tyler Bach does not get aboard, still quality at bat for him here. And that's what we've just been talking about. Having a good at bat for yourself at the plate right now.
It's been a big change in the 6th compared to the 5th, 4th, and the 3rd, plate discipline-wise for these Stallions. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Bach. Here's the payoff. Misses down low, and the bases will be loaded for Andrew Amato. Immediately out of the dugout is Keith Griffin. We're going to see a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. Fish is at 3rd, McIntyre at 2nd, Bach at 1st, Amato coming to the plate. Stallions down by 7. Stay with us. So the Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen is for the southpaw, Parker Akins, to face up against the lefty bat of Andrew Amato.
Yeah, very smart choice bringing lefty on lefty, especially with a good bat like Andrew Amato. Akins comes into this one. He's appeared in 8 games for the Mohawks this year, pitched 12 2/3 innings, has 19 strikeouts, has only allowed 8 walks and 4 hits, and has an ERA sitting at 1.42.
Bases are loaded, 1 out in this top half of the 6th. First pitch is in there for a strike. It's the 3rd time in this game that the Stallions have had the bases loaded. Second time where there's been 1 out. The other time it was with 2. Amato in this game, an RBI single. Ground out over to second in his last at-bat. That came in the top half of the 4th. He checks his swing. They'll say he goes around 0-2 to Amato.
Akins definitely fooled Amato there on that pitch. Amato tried to hold back his swing, but Akins threw a nice curveball in the dirt. That got Amato to come around on that one.
0-2 count. Bases loaded. 1 out. Stallions have plated 1 here in the 6th. Slider misses down low. It's 1-2.
It's a tough take from Andrew Amato right there. Lefty on lefty. That was a good slider just off the outside corner, but Amato not biting.
Akins hasn't played a game of collegiate ball yet. Amato, a rising senior. So pretty big differences in these two guys' experience.
Yeah, I mean, Parker Akins coming just out of high school. I mean, he's going to University of Rhode Island to pitch over there. I mean, he's been phenomenal for the Mohawks this year.
He misses outside after Amato got himself in a hole at 0-2. He's worked back to the count being 2-2.
And that's what we've seen from the Stallions in this inning. They've been taking pretty good at-bats at the plate.
2-2 count, 1 out. Top half of the 6th. Bases are loaded. Catches the outside part of the plate. Amato is rung up on strikes, caught looking for the 2nd time in this game, and there's 2 outs.
Saw Amato look at the dugout after that pitch. Definitely didn't like the call there from the home plate umpire, and really just diminishes the Stallions' rally here in the top of the 6th.
Not to say that Mario Trivella isn't capable, but you would have liked to see Amato reach base.
Yeah, it would have helped a lot for the rally is what I really meant by that statement. Trivella definitely capable of helping out the Stallions right now.
He takes the first pitch inside. Trivella has homered in this ballpark this year. That was in that 6-3 loss where the Stallions held a 3-2 lead heading into the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, Trivella had that go-ahead, I believe, home run.
It was go-ahead, yeah.
It was 2-3, and he hit 1 out, and he hit 2-run home run, make it 4-3. Stallions tacked on 2 more, or excuse me, I'm wrong about this. It was 2-1, and he had 2-run home run. That was make it 3-2. Yep. And then the Mohawks tacked on 4 runs.
Big cut and a miss right there. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Trivella definitely looking for the long ball in that swing. Has to really stay within himself. Does not need the long ball. Cannot make up 7 runs in 1 hit.
1-1 count. Bases are loaded. Here's the pitch. Misses down low. It's 2-1.
That's right. The winning number is
Stallions just trying to move the line along. Trivella hoping to reach base. He's got himself a hitter's count, 2-1.
Claim your prize.
As soon as she said it, I said no chance.
Here's the pitch. Trivella once again with the big hat. It's 2-2.
Yeah, and if I'm third base coach Colin Norton over there, I'm just telling Trivella to calm down at the plate. You don't need to be swinging so hard. I mean, even though if you want a home run, it's just 280 down the line. A nice swing can hit the ball out of here.
Has a single in this game. The 2-2. Misses down low. The count will go full. Akins at risk of walking in a run, and all the runners will be released here in a full count with 2 outs.
So if Trivella does hit one in the gap, very likely Tyler Box going to come around to score because he has a lot of speed over there at first base.
Spolita originally came out to calm down Akins, but Akins says, go back, we're good. Spolita will get the signal from the dugout, now lays it down. Runners will be released. Here's the payoff. Gets Travella swinging for strike 3. Stallions have left the bases loaded for the 3rd time in this ball game. They put up 1. It's a 7-run Mohawk lead. Dan Chalm with you alongside Casey DeSell. If the Stallions go on to lose this game, which it's seeming right now like they will, it's going to really come down to left on base. They've got 10 in this game through just 6 innings. There's a new wing on the mound for Saugerties. That's Mike Cunningham.
Yeah, Mike Cunningham has appeared for the Stallions in 7 games this year. He started only 1 of those. Has pitched 12 innings, has 20 strikeouts, only 5 walks and 6 hits given up. And has an ERA sitting at 1.50. So the Stallions want to hold the Amsterdam Mohawks from scoring any runs. This is the guy to do it.
And funny enough, Shipley comes into the game, throws 2 innings, just a singular hit. That hit scored 3 earned runs.
Yeah, unfortunately for Shipley, he had a little bit of control issues, which allowed him to load the bases and allowed that hit from Dion, I believe?
Dion, yeah.
Dion to bring home 3 runs.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th for your Mohawks is the left fielder.
Sebastian Harden will get things going here in the bottom half of the 6th. Mohawks went down 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the 5th for the first time in this ball game. Cunningham will look to try and do the same. First pitch he deals is a strike.
Cunningham in the 12 innings, as I mentioned, only has 5 walks, so someone that's been really consistent with control.
Deals 2 straight off-speed pitches, and he's up 0-2 on Sebastian Harden.
Cunningham working with a lot of pace to start off this inning, trying to keep the Mohawk hitters off balance.
Another dead ball, strike 3 over the pole. I mean, that just shows you the bad breaks that the Stallions have had in this game. Twice. Both pitchers have gotten a strike 3. The ball hits off of Yaman behind the plate and goes over the netting. And since it's a dead ball, Harden gets to go to first on the strikeout.
I mean, you don't really see that in baseball ever, let alone twice in a game. I mean, if it was at Cantine Field, that wouldn't be possible because there's a net above the backstop.
It just goes back to our issues with this ballpark, Casey. Harden is over at first. Steven Spolita, the catcher, is at the dish. Should be 1 out in this inning, but instead Harden is over at first.
Can't believe that happened twice in one ball game.
And of course, both went against the Stallions.
Yeah.
Just how things are going up here in Amsterdam tonight for Saugerties. That one's fouled straight back. Cunningham has dealt 5 straight strikes. He could actually deal an immaculate inning, but still have to then face another batter.
Yeah, if you're Cunningham on the mound, you just got to be annoyed with the fact that you struck out Harden out in the first 3 pitches, and it went over the backstop.
Strike 3 gets him swinging. Cunningham gets his second strikeout of the inning, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
I don't remember which game it was earlier this year, but we did see 4 strikeouts in 1 inning, and they were all in a row.
Javar Williams will be the next up to the dish for the Mohawks. In back-to-back plate appearances, he's reached on a dead ball. He was the first strikeout that went over the fence.
The first one that really confused us, we thought it was a dead ball, as it hit him or catcher's interference. But when the run scored, we knew something was up, and we got the official ruling eventually.
They give a check over at first. 0-2 count. Cunningham has dealt 8 straight strikes to start this outing. He's on the cusp of an immaculate inning right now, but will still have to face another batter.
That's unbelievable if you're Mike Cunningham. Absolutely dealing on the mound, just having to deal with the unfortunate luck of the Stallions tonight.
That one is lined up the middle. It will fall in front of Bach. It's a 1-out single for Javar Williams, his second of the night.
So Javar Williams will spoil the almost immaculate inning.
I wouldn't even have counted.
I know, I wouldn't have counted, but it would have been cool to see, kind of, almost.
Evan Hager will be the next to the dish for the Mohawks.
Hager!
2 for 2 day with hit for him, along with a walk in the 4th. Runners are at first and second. There's 1 out. And once again, should be 2, but Harden reached on the drop third strike that went over the fence. He's at second. Williams is at first. That one misses for ball 1.
If Hager gets on and comes around 2 score, that would be 3 runs in this inning, which would make it a 10-run deficit for the Stallions, which then makes it a mercy rule in the 7th if they can't score.
Yes. Got mercied last time here at Shuttleworth Park. Hoping to avoid that here tonight. Cunningham's dealt 2 straight balls. It's 2-0.
Cunningham definitely feeling a little bit more pressure now with runners on first and second. Was working well with just Harden over there at first, but is having a tough time now.
Unlucky breaks, everything going against Saugerties today. 2-0. This is down low, 3 straight balls from Cunningham after he started his outing with 8 straight strikes.
Cunningham now in danger of loading the bases with hitters 2 through 5 due up. They're all batting above 300 coming into this one.
3-0 count. Everybody thought that one was a strike. It will be a ball. Bases are loaded for the Mohawks. And with 1 swing of the bat from Jackson Natili, Stallions could be at risk of getting mercied in the top half of the 7th.
Yeah, you kind of saw a very sarcastic backflip, it seemed, from Hager after that 4-pitch walk. Everyone in the ballpark definitely thought that was a ball. Interesting call from the umpire. Or, excuse me, a strike. Interesting call from the umpire there.
Bases are loaded, 1 out. This is the same scenario that the Stallions had in the top half of the 6th, but they were unable to convert. Amato and Trivella both going down on strikeouts when you would think those would be the 2 people that would rally and be able to get on base. 0-1 count. Misses outside. It's 1-1.
And that's really what it comes down to tonight. The Mohawks only have left 3 runners on base to the Stallions 10. And that's actually the score right now. The Stallions left 10 on base, and the Mohawks have only left 3.
It's funny how that works, right?
Yeah.
That one finds the zone at the knees. It's 2-2.
This is a big out for Cunningham to not allow a fly ball, sacrifice fly to the next batter.
Gets Natili swinging there. It's 2-2. Cunningham saying that should be strike 3. It was a 1-2 count.
Right.
And he is right. It was a 1-2 count in that count. The umpire is now asking Natili, and he is punched out. 3rd strikeout of this inning, and there's 2 outs.
3rd strikeout of this inning.
And there's only 2 outs on
Yeah,
board.
should be out of this inning except for that over the backstop, out of play, drop third strike.
Now it'll bring up the batter you want to face the least out of this entire Mohawks lineup, Cade Ladahoff.
Yeah, definitely don't want to face Cade Ladahoff with the bases loaded. Leads the league in home runs.
Well, actually, Casey, he's
Okay,
tied with
all right.
Ethan Conrad at 5, despite Conrad leaving the league over a month ago at this point.
Speaking of which, Conrad did hit a home run up in Bourne tonight.
Yes, he did. He's been one of the most prolific players on that Bourne Braves squad in the Cape Cod League. Cunningham's dealt 2 straight strikes. It's 0-2. He's on the cusp of throwing 4 strikeouts in 1 inning.
We've seen it before.
Oh, 2, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 6th. Cunningham deals. They will say that Ladahoff holds up. It's 1-2.
That's a big-time block from Eddie on behind the plate right there. If that gets behind him, Harding comes around and scored easily.
1-2 count. 2 outs. The pitch. That one does get by Yaman. He's not going to have a play at first. A run will come around to score. It's 11-3 Mohawks. Second drop, third strike of this inning. And Cunningham's got to be frustrated with Yaman.
So that's 4 strikeouts in 1 inning, and there's only 2 outs. We could see 5
strikeouts in a singular inning.
That's got to be
have
a record.
never
That's
seen
got to
that.
be a record. That has not happened before. There's no way.
Well, it's always something interesting between these two teams. Even in the last game, Josh Blackmore came in and pitched a 3-pitch strikeout in the bottom half of the 6th. It's the bottom of the 6th again, and more funky stuff is happening.
Yeah, and Blackmore now leads the team in ERA. I'm joking, of course. Only one.
Well, he does.
I know,
But
like,
among
you can't
qualified
count it.
pitchers, no. But overall, he does. 0-1 count to Jimmy Dion.
Among qualified pitchers. I think he's pretty qualified, but
Bases are still loaded. It's 0-2 to Dion. We could see a 5-strikeout inning here in the bottom of the 6th.
honestly, this is the most exciting part of the night for me right now.
Couldn't agree more. 0-2 count, 2 outs. The bases are loaded. It's an 11-3 ball game here at Shuttleworth Park. The pitch. That one is lined off the end of the bat towards the middle. Trivella throws to first in time for out number 3. The run will not score. It stays at 11-3. The crowd here very unhappy with that call, but Cunningham deals a 4-strikeout inning, and Trivella makes a nice play to end it. Mohawks still leading by 8 as we head to the 7th.
Congratulations! You win a trip to the New York State Fair for 2. Let's hear it for these.
Top half of the 7th. Dan Shalom with you alongside Casey DeSalle here in the Pack Cup broadcast booth. Saugerties down by 8. Mike Cunningham, though, dealing a 4-strikeout inning and limiting the damage. He should have been out of that inning 2 strikeouts earlier, but with the ground out and all the drop thirds, but is able to limit the Mohawks to just a singular run.
Yeah, we almost saw a 5-strikeout inning. He was on the cusp of another one right there before he got that ground out. And that just really shows the luck the Stallions have had tonight, along with the poor pitching early on and the slow start offensively, it's just been a tough watch if you're any Stallions fan or if you're part of the organization.
Yeah, which I'll tell you, their luck has been zero.
Yeah,
they have not had any luck in this game. Everything has gone against them from the top down. Nate Manley will start things off here in the top of the 7th.
Manley in this one is over 2 with a walk.
11-3 ball game here in the 7th. First pitch from Akins misses outside. He's in for his second inning of work. That one finds the zone for strike one.
Akins a pretty confident pitcher on the mound. I mean, in that last inning, the bases loaded. Mario Giarello was in a 3-2 count. We saw Spolita try and go out to the mound, have a conversation. He's like, no, thank you. I'm good. We'll just make this pitching out of the inning. And that's exactly what he did.
1-1 count. Manley smacks that one over the head of Figueroa. It will get down. Leadoff single for Nate Manley.
And again, we go back to the Stallions just having good at-bats for themselves. Nate Manley just getting aboard there with a very hard-hit single.
And speaking of hard-hit balls, Peyton Bonds smoked one in his last at-bat. That was in the 5th for a single.
Yeah, Peyton Bonds definitely looking to build off that at-bat. Before that, he had struck out, and he walked. So tonight he is 1-4-2 with a single and a strikeout.
Has a little bit of everything on his line. Manley's at first. There's nobody out here in the top of the 7th. And Casey, I just want to highlight, it's an 8-run ball game, but after that Manley single, you could hear a pin drop in here right now. It's not as if it's a 1-run game. This crowd has gone completely quiet despite it still being fully packed out.
Yeah, I don't really know why that's the case. Maybe just hate Manley alive. It's gotten really quiet in here.
2-0 count to Peyton Bonds. Really no crowd noise whatsoever in this ballpark, despite the Mohawks being up at 8, or by 8, excuse me.
We're very used to noise throughout the ball game here in Amsterdam, and it's gotten pretty quiet for the first time I think ever up here.
And it's at the most unusual time. 2-0 count. Bonds takes it. It's 2-1.
That's a really good 2-0 curveball there from Akins on the mound. I mean, we're not going to swing it as a hitter, but still a very good pitch.
2-1. Bonds with a big hack right there. It's 2-2.
And Bonds has a very long swing. I mean, it can make for a lot of a lot of hard contact, but it can also make for strikeouts when you have such a long swing like that.
Have to start very early in order to meet the ball. 2-2. That one hits Bonds. Runners will be at first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th.
So once again, the Stallions are threatening with 0 or 1 out. Let's see if they can scratch across more than 1 run in this inning.
About 10 runners left on base in this ball game. 3 of those times they've left the bases loaded. We're going to see a pinch runner here. Jarrett May is going to come in for Peyton Bonds.
I mean, I wouldn't think Jarrett May is faster than Peyton Bonds. We've seen Peyton Bonds steal a base.
Well, and I think it's more that it's an 8-run game.
Yeah, maybe
Peyton Bonds is in the DH spot. Might as well give May another at-bat.
Yeah, if he can get around the next few innings for an at-bat, I mean, Jarrett May would certainly love to try and get a hit. He's been struggling at the plate for a while now.
First pitch to Eddie Yaman misses outside.
The hometown crowd definitely not liking the calls from the umpire behind the plate. Still yelling even though they're up by 8 runs.
One out. Yaman chases. It's 1-1.
A little bit of noise from the crowd there, so they haven't completely left us.
Justin Ford on deck. There's nobody out. Runners at first and second. Yaman late. It's 1-2.
Yeah, even when Akins does go down in the at-bat, he's very good at coming back and battling against these Stallion hitters.
Yaman just flares that one to right field. Coming in on it is Hager. He's got it for out number 1. That's another one, Casey. Would have been a base hit at can time.
Yeah, that's usually a bloop single out there to right field, but I'm not sure if Hagar is just playing really short or it's because of the dimensions. Very interesting.
Justin Ford will step in with 1 out. He had a 2-run home run last time that he was in this ballpark. It was the equivalent of Chris Paul hitting the 3-pointer to cut the lead to 42, though, as it made it 14-2 ball game at that point.
It's kind of a similar situation here. I mean, it would make a closer ball game if they'd be down by 5 if he hits a home run right now.
Checks his swing for strike 1.
I mean, it's not as bad as the 18-0 it was when he hit that other one. So, progress in some sort of way.
Stallions have had a runner on in every single inning of this game, but are still trailing by 8. They also have 7 hits. Ford takes that one. It's 1-1.
Fastball there from Akins. Just a little too high to catch a strike.
One count. Ford takes it on the outside.
That's 2 very good takes in a row from Justin Ford. 2 fastballs very close to the strike zone.
Runners at first and second. 1 out in the top half of the 7th. And Ford will take that one right down the middle. It's 2-2.
And we've seen Ford watch 3 fastballs in a row now. 2 close fastballs that were called balls, and now 1 right in his wheelhouse.
He's clearly waiting for the off speed.
Yeah.
2-2 count. Checks it, does not go around. The count will go full.
The hometown crowd disagreeing with that call, but they're wrong about that. That was definitely a ball.
Full count.
We talked about them being quiet for the first 2 batters of this inning, and they've really picked it up now.
Runners at first and second. 1 out. The payoff. Gets Ford swinging for strike 3. I mean, it's felt like in this ball game, Stallions will put a runner on, will put 2 runners on, nobody out, and then the heart of their order fails to deliver.
It's very uncharacteristic for the Stallions. I mean, in these last 6 games that they've been on that win streak, they've been getting guys on base, and everyone's been hitting with runners in score position. Just not the same ball club tonight.
10 runners left on base. That number at risk of growing to 12. Ryan Resio at the plate. He fouls the first pitch off to the right side.
Now, Ryan Resio in danger of going hitless in his last 2 games after having a hit in the 6 before that.
Has reached base in this game. Was hit by the pitch in the 2nd. Came around as the first run of the ball game for Saugerties. But since then, a 5-4-3 double play that he grounded into and a pop-up over to first.
And honestly, Resio hit that ball really hard in that double play. Something that he really can't hang his head over. Just unlucky, like the Stallions have been all night.
That one misses outside. It's 1-1.
Clearly outside on that pitch. I'm not sure what the home crowd is so angry about.
The 1-1. Aikens misses outside. It's 2-1.
Resio doing a good job of staying patient. And that's really been the key to his at-bats over this hot hitting streak he's been on. Just been really patient in the box, waiting for his pitch. And when it does come to him, he's been smacking him.
2-1. Catches the zone at the knees. Resio not happy with that one. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Resio definitely thinking that fastball was inside, but that tail from Aikens, he's a lefty pitcher. The tail came back over the inside corner, which gave him the strike call.
2-2. Goes down, swinging Aikens. Produces back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. The Stallions have left 12 on base through 7 innings of play so far. Had 2 runners get on in that 7th, but then went down 1-2-3. The struggles continue as we've hit the 7th inning stretch here in Amsterdam. Stallions are down by 8.
From Appalachian State, number 2, Tyler Figueroa.
Bottom half of the 7th, Tyler Figueroa will lead things off. Mike Cunningham is out there for his 2nd inning of work.
Figueroa so far in this one is hitless. Did get aboard with a walk in the bottom of the 3rd. And now we're certainly hearing that crowd, Dan, as you mentioned. In the top of the 7th, it was pretty quiet to start the inning.
Catches Figueroa swinging. In this game, Tyler Figueroa 0 for 2 with a walk. That one's in there for strike 2. You look down the line, Casey, for this Stallions team schedule-wise. They got Glens Falls at home on Saturday, Amsterdam on Sunday. If the Mohawks are to sweep Albany tomorrow, as this ball's hitting to right field to Justin Ford, they would basically have the division locked up. Stallions would be 4 games back with less than 8 days to go in the season. And it just makes you think, Saugerties really needed this one here tonight, and it's going to force them to come back here and win in the playoffs, which will be an even tougher atmosphere than anything they've faced so far this season if they want to get to the championship and keep their season alive.
Yeah, you mentioned tougher atmosphere. They came here last year in the PGCBL playoffs and lost in a very close battle. So definitely looking for vengeance in the playoffs if they have to come back here again.
Cunningham's dealt 2 straight strikes. Last win for the Stallions here at Shuttleworth Park, July 25th. That was their last matchup against the Mohawks, and it's seeming like their last chance to beat Amsterdam at home will also come in the last matchup of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I think Tuesday night is when they come back up here to Shuttleworth Park.
Strike 3, Cunningham gets Rispoli looking. That's his 5th strikeout of the day.
Yeah, and 5th out, but that's not how it goes.
No. It's 5th strikeout. Yeah, only his 3rd out.
Well, yeah, his 3rd strikeout out.
Only 3 outs on the board.
He's gone through an inning and 2/3, but they're not all strikeouts.
First pitch here to DiGiorno misses down low. It's 1-0. And Stallions will have home field advantage for their second round matchup. They'll get a first round bye, assuming that the Diamond Dogs don't come and catch them. Diamond Dogs are 5.5 games out of the second spot.
That's a pretty tough task, too, for the Diamond Dogs, too. I think make up 2.5 or 3.5 games in the Stallions in a week. That'll be very tough.
Utica also sits 5.5 back. They will pay a trip to Cantine Field, their first of the season, on the second to last day of the season against the Stallions, that being on July 27th. And then from there, the playoffs will commence. As of right now, Saugerties will be the 2 seed and have home field advantage in that second round. Assuming that they win that second round matchup, they would end right back here against the Mohawks in the PGCBL East Championship.
Yeah, getting that bye in the second round is going to be big for the Stallions. Time to regroup and think about their matchups coming up, especially the one in Amsterdam that they probably are dreading, knowing that they've had no success here at all this season. It's going to be tough for them to come here and win, especially in the playoffs.
I was talking to a couple people around our organization, and they were saying they played here in high school. They were saying it's just something about this ballpark that when you step into it just rattles you as an opposing player or opposing coaching staff. It just makes it so hard to win. You've played here yourself in high school. What was that like?
We won. We were a really good team though that year. I mean, I can't put it on the ballpark being bad. I mean, I didn't really like playing on this ballpark, to be honest with you, because of the short fences. I mean, it's great as a batter, but in the outfield, it's tough to make plays when there's a wall against your back at all times.
Full count, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. DiGiorno fouls it off. Count will stay at 3-2.
Despite last inning kind of being messy for Mike Cunningham, he's done a really good job in this outing. I mean, we mentioned that he has 6 strikeouts, or is it no, 5? 5 strikeouts, my
Going
bad.
for 6
but only
on this
3 of them
pitch.
actually counted.
That one is piped to left center field. Bach under it. He's got it for out number 3. Cunningham produces his first 1-2-3 inning of his outing. Mohawks keep an 8-run lead as we head to the 8th. top half of the eighth. Sweet Caroline playing through the speaker system here at Shuttleworth Park, reminding me of when I went to a Red Sox game where I immediately wanted to leave. And I'm being reminded of similar memories here tonight at Shuttleworth Park with the rival Amsterdam Mohawks, if you want to equate Yankees to Stallions, Mohawks to Red Sox, not going very well.
I was just going to say, it kind of has that vibe to it. Two rivals. I mean, the Yankees don't have this much trouble in Fenway Park, but the Yankees play New York, New York. We play New York, New York at home when we win, and the Red Sox play Sweet Caroline in the 8th inning, and so they're playing. It's almost the exact same thing here.
Brandon Fish will lead things off here in the 8th. New pitcher on the mound for the Mohawks is James Reddick.
Yeah, James Reddick comes in with this 11-3 lead. So far this year, he's pitched in 6 games for the Mohawks. He's pitched 9 2/3 innings. Has 12 strikeouts. He's given up 6 walks and 7 hits, and has an ERA of 1.86.
And it seems like the Stallions have gotten a little bit unlucky today, too, with the pitching matchups. They've had to face the Mohawks' top arms, which is something that you would expect in the playoffs, but maybe not here in the regular season.
Well, the Mohawks probably realizing this is actually a very important game for them to go ahead and keep that number 1 spot pretty secure. With the win here, the Stallions go down another game to the Mohawks and makes it almost impossible for the Stallions to come back in this next week to capture first place.
That one hits Brandon Fish. Back-to-back plate appearances in which he's reached base. It's the 4th pitcher of the game for the Mohawks, and you just wonder what tomorrow is going to be like for them. They have a doubleheader against the Albany Baseball Club here at home. They'll have to use a lot of arms in that one. We'll have off Saturday before traveling to the Stallions on Sunday.
Yeah, it definitely makes you question whether or not the Mohawks have the arms to win both games tomorrow. If they're using 4 of their best guys today and they have 2 games tomorrow, it's going to be tough for them to win.
0-1 count to Matt McIntyre. Chases that one. And you look up and down the standings, the Albany Baseball Club do sit second to last at 8-23-1, but they're still a sneaky team that can pull off a victory here and there.
Yeah, we've seen them pull off a victory over the Stallions at home, actually, which is very rare for the Stallions to lose at home. Only happened, I think, 2 times this year.
Yeah, and they've held a 5-run lead here at Shuttleworth Park against the Mohawks, along with holding a 1-run lead heading into the 7th inning and the doubleheader they played against Albany last week. So it's an Albany team that knows how to play against good opponents, and if your pitching doesn't match up, could be a trap game in which you lose.
Trap games? I mean, you have to have the arms ready for 2 games, and when you pitch your 4 best, I don't know why you're pitching one of your best right now. You have an 8-run lead. I would throw one of your middle arm guys, but hey, it's whatever he wants as the head coach over there.
McIntyre goes down swinging for out number 1.
That brings Tyler Bach up, who's walked every at-bat tonight.
Just to go back to that McIntyre strikeout, that marks strikeout number 11 in this game for Saugerties. It's been a struggle at the plate.
I think the last matchup Saugerties had against Amsterdam, they had 17 strikeouts, or maybe it was the
that
game
was in the
before
18-2 game.
Yeah, the 18-2 game.
Or no, excuse me. That was in the 7-4 win, actually. They had the 17 strikeouts.
You are correct, yeah. And that was, although they won, it was tough to watch the Stallions strike out 17 times. I mean, this game kind of has that vibe to it, except we're losing.
Last time here at Shuttleworth Park, Stallions defeated in 7 innings, 18-2. Scoreline eerily similar here tonight. That one misses inside to Bach. The funny part out of all of this is that the Stallions have had a base runner in every single inning of this ball game.
They just had a very tough time bringing them home. I mean, we've talked about it. They have 12 runners left on base so far in this one. And, I mean, if they can't get Fish over there to come around to score, it's going to be 13.
Bach smacks that one to left field. Going back on it is hard in. It'll bump off the wall. Fish is going to be waved home. He is going to score. It's an RBI double for Tyler Bach, and he's going to go to third as the ball gets by home plate.
Well, just as I mentioned, if we don't get Fish home, it's going to be 30 runners left on base. Tyler Bach smacks one off the wall out there in left center field, and Fish hustles home to make this one 11-4. So it's going to be a hit.
That's going to go down as an RBI double. The run will go down as earned, as Fish was going to score regardless. Bach going to third will be scored as an E6. Andrew Amato to the dish. Now that one got past Spolita. He keeps it close enough to hold Bach at third. It's an 11-4 ball game. Stallions are down by 7, but still showing some signs of life here in the 8th.
This is a very uncharacteristic night for Andrew Amato at the plate. He's only got one hit tonight, and he struck out twice looking.
Tyler Bach is undoubtedly the player of the game here tonight. 3 walks and an RBI double, which he turned into a triple. 2 straight balls to Amato.
If we had the player of the game.
Just saying in general, if you're picking one guy out of the Stallions who's performed well tonight, I'm giving it to Tyler Bach.
Yeah, Tyler Bach's definitely been very good at the plate tonight for the Stallions. Someone that's been consistent with the walks all year long and helping as a second leadoff man, as we say, and he's doing it again here tonight. Just knowing to bring him home. Until now.
Amato slaps that one to the right side. It'll be an RBI ground out. The lead is cut to 6.
The Stallions have brought home 2 runners in this inning. First time they've brought home 2 runners in an inning since the second inning.
11-5 is where the score stands. And if they do go on to lose this game, 11-5 is much better than 11-3.
It is a lot better, but when you look at the grand scheme of things, the game could have been a lot closer. I mean, all those runners left on base, we keep talking about it. Even half those guys, it would be 11-9, 11-10.
Trivella takes that one. It's 1-1.
I mean, we've seen the Stallions have some late heroics before, but it's going to be tough to bring
seems too far-fetched,
6 runs.
this one, yeah.
Yeah.
But they are still showing fight. 11-5 is a lot better than 11-2 or 11-3. And it'll give you a little bit of momentum heading into Saturday against the Dragons, which should be a win. But funny enough, Glens Falls actually beat the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs yesterday, who beat these Amsterdam Mohawks 2 days ago at Shuttleworth Park.
Yeah, Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs are a sneaky team in third place, I might say. I mean, they gave the Stallions some trouble earlier this year as well in that doubleheader.
Surprising to see them lose to the Diamond Dogs, though. That was...
Yeah.
Or win, excuse me. Trivella strikes out. That's his 4th of the game. Give him the golden sombrero. We head to the bottom half of the 8th. Stallions down by 6. Back here in the bottom of the 8th. Dan Challen with you, alongside Casey DeSell. Stallions put up 2 runs in the 8th to make the score seem a little bit better. It's only 11-5. They've still left 12 runners on base in this game, simply not going to win ball games that way. Mike Cunningham comes out of the game, and the new pitcher on is Liam Powell.
Liam Powell has appeared in 11 games for the Stallions this year. He started one of them, and that start was in Amsterdam the last time the Stallions were here.
Got blown up.
He got blown up in that one, but also to finish out his numbers on the season, 17 innings pitched, has 12 strikeouts, he's given up 8 walks and 13 hits. But circling back to that last time here in Amsterdam, when he started the game, he gave up 7 runs, all of them earned, on 7 hits, 1 walk, and only had 2 strikeouts. Something very uncharacteristic from Liam Powell, who's been really good all year long up until that point. And after that, he's given up 0 runs since.
First batter that Powell will face is, I believe, Aiden Stewart. That's not Sebastian Harden, so it'll be a pinch hitter to start things off in the bottom of the 8th for the Mohawks.
You are correct, Dan.
That's good. I probably would have like a 50% conversion rate of being correct, so I'll take that one. It helps out my average a little bit.
Definitely helps out the average. Speaking of average, Aiden Stewart comes in this one batting a .225, which is, I think, the lowest in this ball game on Amsterdam's side.
Which is astonishing to think that your worst hitter in your entire franchise is only batting a .225.
Well, now it's lowered.
Cunningham, or it's not even Cunningham, Powell strikes out Stewart for the first out of the inning. Mike Cunningham leaves the game, 2 innings pitched, a hit, an earned run, a walk, 5 strikeouts. Steven Spalita, the 10-hole hitter, digs in now. First pitch he sees is in there for strike 1.
I thought we were about to see like 3 pinch hitters in a row because, you know,
That's usually
history
what happens.
of Amsterdam is, they're not losing right now, but the history of Amsterdam is when they're losing, they decide to put in every player on the bench. We saw like 19, 20 batters.
We saw 19 in the 7-4 win. In the game before that, in which Amsterdam lost 8-0 at home, we saw 17 different players on the field.
Those are always fun games in the scorebook, aren't they, Dan?
I can't read my handwriting at that point. I'm just guessing at who it is. Not actually, but that's what it seems like. 2-2 count.
I think the 8-0 game, we also saw 6 pitchers or something like that. We saw the whole team, I think.
That one misses off the outside. The count will go full. So for Spalita, he was down 1-2, but ends up working himself a walk. It's a 1-out base runner, and it'll be the top of the order, Javar Williams digging in.
Good at bat from Spalita to work from a 1-2 to a walk. Liam Powell lost his strike zone there in that at bat.
1 out in this bottom of the 8th. First pitch misses. You know what I've noticed about the Mohawks is they're the only team in the PGCBL that play with the sleeveless jerseys. They have the American edition, but they most of the time rock these sleeveless jerseys with black undershirts. That one misses again. I have to say, I am a fan of the shirtless, or the sleeveless, jerseys.
Damn, what kind of baseball game are you watching?
I'm not sure at this point. That one is hit out into left center field. Amato tracking back, and he grabs it for out number 2.
You know, I do like the sleeveless baseball jerseys. I think they're a cool style. You don't see it very often, though.
It's like the Seattle Mariners about 20 years ago. Ken Griffey looked swag in those. I'll tell you that much.
Ken Griffey looks swag no matter what, Dan.
I don't think I'll ever have the amount of swag that Ken Griffey had.
Well, you also won't be in the MLB with millions of dollars.
Oh, come on. With 2 outs, it'll be Evan Hager, the right fielder. But Casey, this is my path to the MLB is through the booth. I obviously wasn't good enough to get there as a player, so I opted for an alternate route.
That's both of our paths right now. But
you
we
still
won't
have a better chance than me of getting to the MLB if you were to start playing again, I think.
Maybe. I mean, I play club baseball at Oswego, but that's a whole different level of ball game.
1-1 count. Misses down low. Yaman will throw down to second. He's inaccurate. It allows Spolita to steal second. With Yaman just set and through there with no real... If he didn't speed it up, he would have had Spolita out there by a mile.
One of the things they teach catchers behind the plate is never throw to the shortstop or second baseman. You throw to the bag always, because that's where the shortstop and second baseman are going to be. It doesn't matter where they are at the moment.
2-2 count to Evan Hager. 11-5 ball game. Fans filing out Shuttleworth Park here tonight.
Still very strong crowd, though, even though we've seen people leave.
2-2. Fouled straight back, and the count will stay at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, there's here. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs. The count will now go full. It's deceiving here, Casey, when you look at the scoreboard. I would say it's under a 25% chance that it's correct. So you got to refer over to our production truck, which our great Rasa is running tonight. Big thanks to her as Powell gets the 3rd out of this inning. Second strikeout of the day for Liam Powell. Stallions' last chance to come back in the 9th coming up. They're down by 6. Top half of the 9th, Stallions down to their last 3 outs of this ball game. James Reddick is going to stay out there for his 2nd inning of work, and it'll be May and Yaman to finish things out.
I mean, at this point in the ball game, the Stallions hitters just looking to take good at bats. 11-5 is pretty hard to come back from with just 3 outs. 6-run deficit for the Stallions. So if you're any Stallions hitter, just try and work on something in the box you have trouble with.
The struggles continue for the Stallions here at Shuttleworth Park. Most likely will be 0-4 here in Amsterdam with the conclusion of this game. Season series, they will trail 3-5 with 2 left to play. It's just so interesting, Casey, and we'll really highlight it on Sunday when the Mohawks travel to the Stallions. Just the difference in play between the Saugerties at home and away is so different. So far this season on the road, they're 7-6-2. They're going to be .500 after this game. At home, 18-2.
Yeah, it's a complete difference. I mean, they've been so dominant at home. You'd say 18-2. One of those losses to the Mohawks, the other to Albany. And They come here, they can't win a game the entire year. They have one opportunity left on Tuesday night. I mean, and even they had trouble at Utica. They had trouble
at Mohawk Valley.
They had trouble in Albany to tie up there.
Manley goes down on 3 pitches to start off the 9th, and there's 1 out.
I shouldn't say up there because we're actually above Albany right now, but
you're right. Jarrett May will step in. He came in as a pinch runner for Peyton Bonds in the top half of the 7th, and will get his first plate appearance here tonight.
Jarrett May really just looking to get his season going still, even though we're into the later part, only a week left in this regular season. Jarrett May has had his troubles at the plate. He comes into this one batting .091.
Not the numbers you want if you're Jarrett May.
He's just been unlucky to go along with it as well. He's had some hard contact. He had a foul ball home run in Glens Falls a couple games ago. He's had hard lineouts to places. It's just not falling for him.
0-2 count to Jarrett May. He goes down swinging. James Reddick is on the cusp of an immaculate inning to end off this ball game. The job that Eddie Yaman is tasked with, do not strike out in 3 pitches. Last thing you want to do is end this game giving Reddick an immaculate inning.
Yeah, and it also just kind of diminishes the squad. Who's already diminished? I mean, 11-5 loss is never a good game, and there you go.
That one breaks the immaculate inning. It's a 1-0 count to Eddie Yaman, and usually you don't say it as a broadcaster, but I was willing to jinx it this time.
What, the immaculate inning?
Yeah.
I didn't want to see it either.
Yaman fouls that one off. It's 1-1.
We've had our fair share of jinxes this year.
Almost had the no-hitter. They had one pitch left against Albany. I didn't say it in the 7th, but ended up being broken. 1-1 count. Misses outside. Stallions are going to fall to 25-9-2 on the season. Amsterdam is going to improve to 28-6. The home road splits are near identical for these two squads. Amsterdam also only has 2 losses here at Shuttleworth. They're 15-2 overall. On the road, 12-4 leads them to 27-6, 7-3 overall in their last 10.
It makes you think if the Stallions had that 1 seed going into the playoffs, they could definitely take the Mohawks at home, especially with their struggles on the road, like the Stallions have had.
2-2. Yaman stays alive. They will most likely have to come up here to Shuttleworth Park if they are to advance out of the second round. Of course, nothing guaranteed in the playoffs. We'll have to play somebody before they're scheduled to play the Mohawks here at Shuttleworth Park. But this is another game where you have to go back to the drawing board and just what went wrong where we couldn't get the win here today. 2-2. Yaman hits this one to left center field. Under it is Williams, and the Mohawks are winners here tonight. A final score of 11-5 advances the Mohawks. They have their lead now up to 3 games on the PGCBL East. Stallions leave 12 runners on base in this game. Give up, I'm just doing the math right now, 10 runs in the first 4. Simply not going to come back if you do that.
Yeah, definitely. They had those 2 runs in the second. It was looking good. They just fell flat the rest of the game. I was looking at the scorebook here, and 9 out of the 11 batters for the Stallions had a strikeout in this one. So that's not a recipe for success at all if you want to win ball games. And we mentioned the struggles of the pitching in this one earlier on with Fusco, and Cunningham did a good job, but it was just too little too late.
You mentioned that, Casey. The Stallions finished with 14 strikeouts on the day as well. It's an ugly mark for them. They'll look to rebound against the last place Glens Falls Dragons on Saturday night at home before hosting the Mohawks on Sunday at Cantine Field. Saugerties has off tomorrow. Big thanks to Rasa for helping us out tonight, stepping in for our producer AJ DiBenedetto at the last minute. Really helped us keep a seamless broadcast regardless of the result. For Dan Chalman, Casey DeSell, the Mohawks win 11-5. Stallions will be back in action on Saturday. We'll see you then.